You're watching college football on CBS Sports Network, presented by Geico. Utah State on the road taking on UNLV here at Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas as we take a look at the Mountain West Conference standings. Crowded at the top. San Diego State, Boise State lead the way. UNLV, Utah State just one game out. And with that, we say good evening. Jordan Kent alongside America's favorite backup quarterback, Ben DiNucci. And Ben, what a game we've been dealt here in Vegas. The two top scoring offenses in the Mountain West, and both these teams essentially need to win out to still try and play in the Mountain West Conference title game.
If you're a fan of points, if you're a fan of offense, if you're a fan of good quarterback play, sit back, relax, enjoy the next couple hours. We got a rainy day in Vegas here today, but should be plenty of fireworks inside of Allegiant Stadium.
Well, speaking of fireworks, both these teams lit up the scoreboard in their victories last week. Utah State 51 points in the win over Nevada. UNLV 42 in their win over Colorado State. But the 320 rushing yards could be in jeopardy. Breaking news, leading rusher for the Rebels, Jet Thomas, questionable. Puts even more on the shoulders of their quarterback, Anthony Colandrea.
Without Jet Thomas for this offense today, the load got a little bit heavier for quarterback Anthony Colandrea. One of four quarterbacks in the country with over 2,200 passing yards, over 450 rushing yards. You're going to see the ball pushed down the field today. He gives his receivers a chance. When the pocket breaks down and needs to use that athleticism, he certainly can.
But Utah State has a wild card under center as well, too. Bryson Barnes can hurt you in a lot of ways.
On the other side, we've got another quarterback playing at a high level right now. Almost 5,000 career passing yards, 1,300 on the ground. When a play's there to be made, hit the B button, put your head down, go make a play. Bryson Barnes in a nutshell. And when he needs to make a play out of the pocket, the transfer from Utah does a good job escaping, keeping his eyes downfield, gives his receivers a chance to find some green grass, and we're going to see that all day today.
Bronco Mendenhall in his first season at Utah State after guiding New Mexico to a successful season last year, your 2006 Mountain West Coach of the Year. And then Dan Mullen, the former television analyst, heads back to the coaching ranks. His first year at UNLV, 7-2, the former Florida Gators, Mississippi State Bulldogs coach. Loving life here in UNLV. We had a wonderful conversation with him. UNLV, they've won the toss and they will defer to the second half. So Utah State will get the ball to get this game rolling here. The Aggies, undefeated at home, winless on the road, 0-4, but played some stiff competition this year. Texas A&M, Tennessee, New Mexico, and Hawaii. And they're looking to become bowl eligible with a victory this evening. Opening kick, back to receive. And a fair catch is called for by Noah White, and Bryson Barnes takes the field.
This kid is fun, he's accurate, he's an athlete, and the sentiment around this team, this coaching staff this week, toughness. You're going to see it on full display today from quarterback Bryson Barnes. And if this offense wants to do anything against this UNLV defense, it starts and stops with Bryson Barnes today.
And Barnes talked about he wanted to improve his throwing coming into this season.
He certainly has. 65% completions, high touchdowns, low interceptions.
Davis is the back. They fake the handoff. Clean pocket. Flips it out to Davis in the open field. Busts through a couple of tackles. Positive gain of 7 on the first play of the game. What matchup are you looking at here, Ben?
I'm looking at wide receiver Braden Pagan for this Aggies offense. Third in the Mountain West in receiving yards. And on the flip side for the UNLV defense, Amaris Brown leads the team, 4 interceptions, 2 defensive touchdowns.
Brown, they consider the best defensive player for UNLV. And both these teams, keep in mind, their coaching staffs felt last week was their best defensive performances as well. It'll be tested here this afternoon. Second down, the give on the ground. Utah State trying to run it. It's stretched out, spinning out is Davis. Somehow turned that into a positive gain.
You're going to see Miles Davis here, the BYU transfer, using a little bit of that power out of the backfield, throwing the defender off of him. Getting it to a nice manageable 3rd and short on the first drive.
Keep in mind, UNLV, third down defense, gives up the completion just 27% of the time. One of the top 10 in the nation. Barnes keeps it himself, plunges forward, picks up the first down, and they'll move the chains.
For us, offensive coordinator Kevin McGivern, that's the luxury of having a Bryson Barnes at quarterback. When you get into 3rd and short, dial up the quarterback's number, get an extra hat in the running game with Miles Davis. They did a great job there moving the chains on 3rd and short, keeping this first drive going.
And there's so much to talk about with Barnes throughout this game. And He really keeps it blunt with his coaching staff as far as what he feels comfortable doing physically any given week. Right now, comfortable slinging it to the outside to Pagan. Pagan and a body of defenders, 5 yards, and again, Utah State winning first down.
When we talked to this coaching staff earlier this week, one of the keys that they said for this offense, they want to be explosive. Create the big plays in the passing game, create the big plays in the running game. They've certainly got the receivers in Pagan to do that. In the backfield, Miles Davis.
So 2nd and 5, and this is where you want to get to during these drives because it opens up the playbook here for Barnes.
Staying on schedule, staying out of 2nd and long, 3rd and long is going to be very beneficial for this offense today.
Barnes 17 touchdowns through the air. This time fakes the run, throws it a little too hot. They had it. It was Josh Sturzer that got behind the defense, and a missed opportunity there.
Dialing up a little bit of a trick early here. Looks like it might be quarterback counter. Barnes pops out of there and a little bit too high on Sturzer. I like the play call early. Being aggressive, taking a shot down the field. Why not?
Those touch passes, are those difficult opening drive of the game as they stare at 3rd and 5 right now?
Definitely.
3rd and 5. They're looking through the air. Barnes, clean pocket still across the middle. Catch somewhat bobbled, but hauled in. First down completion. Anthony Garcia, 16 yards into UNLV territory.
Great job by Bryson Barnes here, working through his progression, getting to his backside, Anthony Garcia, and throwing him a nice catchable ball.
They call Garcia the utility knife. And they go through the air once more, and we'll tell you this much. Barnes dialed in, 13-yard completion to Pagan. They're threatening the red zone here.
We're going to see a lot of speed from this offense today, a lot of RPOs, getting the ball on the edge, and their big receiver, 6'3", 210 pounds. Brandon Pagan is going to be a big part of this passing attack today.
Second catch of the drive for Pagan. Davis remains the back, 1st and 10. Barnes again looking downfield, eludes the rush. Barnes scampers forward, picks up a handful of yards. 4 yards on the keeper, and that was the first time UNLV got home.
Good job there by Fuller, creating some pressure. Barnes does a good job stepping up. Big part of playing quarterback down here in the red zone. Don't take negative plays. Does a really good job there using his legs and staying ahead of the chains here to make it a nice 2nd and 6.
It was Chief Borders, the defensive end for UNLV, that almost got him. Now you've got Davis and Jacobs, it appears, in the game. A crowded backfield right now for Utah State. It's Davis that takes it forward. And I go back to this theme of winning first down has really helped Utah State on this drive. So the 3rd down, which is something Bronco Mendenhall said was going to be key in this matchup. You notice the offense hasn't been the greatest this year for the Aggies versus the top-ranked 3rd down defense in the Mountain West. But so far, the Aggies 2 for 2.
Defensive coordinator Paul Gunther for this UNLV defense told us earlier this week, we got to be assignment sound and we got to contain the quarterback. 3rd and short here. Let's see what Barnes can do with his legs if the pocket breaks down.
3rd and 4, calls for the motion. It's Boyd that comes across. Barnes, ball in hand, getting rushed, brought down. UNLV got to him. It was McDuffie, the first one, and a loss of 1 makes it 4th down.
The green dot, Marcel McDuffie, the middle linebacker of this defense. Great job. Looks like he might have been on a blitz there initially. Peels off, doesn't quit on the play, does a great job meeting Barnes at the line of scrimmage, forcing a field goal here on the first possession.
41-yard attempt coming for Tanner Rinker. He's 10 for 10 on field goals this season, has a long of 49. Just one of 5 kickers in the nation to not miss a kick this year. Here it is from 41, as we mentioned. Don't blame me. I'm just stating the facts. His first miss of the year from 41 yards out, and so Utah State, an impressive drive, yields nothing as they crap out on the opening drive.
That's got to feel good for UNLV in this defense. First drive of the game.
Utah State, they were moving the ball well, but couldn't convert the kick. The first miss of the season for Rinker. UNLV ball when we come back. 0 after the missed Utah State field goal. Now let's go back to the keys of the game, brought to you by Carl's Jr.
This Utah State team needs to get off to a fast start. They did a good job there on offense, couldn't convert on the field goal. And on defense, they need to limit the explosive plays from this Rebel attack. And on the flip side, UNLV, use tempo to your advantage and protect the football, Anthony Calandria.
So So UNLV, the #1 scoring offense in the Mountain West this season, 37.4 points per game, on pace to be a school record, will take over. 1st and 10. The back is Lee. Calandria looking down the field, and a strike is delivered right across the plate. Catch is made by Earl. And Anthony Calandria, we talked about it, a very dynamic, confident playmaker.
This kid can do it through the air. He can do it through the ground. I've been impressed watching him on tape this week. He has fun. He's the leader of this team. He's got a quiet swagger about him. And the one word that all the coaches used with him this week, competitive.
Calandria leads the Mountain West in completion percentage. 17 touchdowns, just 5 interceptions. Has not thrown a pick at home this year. They go to the ground. It's Lee once more. He's wrestled down. 6-yard gain, and Lee getting the start. We talked about Thomas being questionable. They go to the backup Lee for the first series as you look at our key matchup.
Lee on the offensive side for this Rebel attack is, let's make no question about it, he's going to get the brunt of the load today. And on the other side for this Utah State defense, Brevin Hamblin, coming off a Mountain West Player of the Week on the defensive side of the ball last week. He's going to be everywhere today.
2nd and 4. They fake the handoff. Calandria, long throw to the sideline. It is caught and brought in, but stepping out of bounds is Jaden Bradley, but not before he picks up the 1st down.
Good job by offensive coordinator Corey Dennis here. Doing a good job of just getting Calandria on the edge. He's got a free rusher in his face there. Does a good job just kind of manipulating the throwing lane, getting it out to Jaden Bradley on the edge and converting early.
Bradley, one of their deep threats. These 3 receivers, they say the stage is never too big. They've transferred in from big-time programs. Very confident group. 1st and 10 from the 47. The handoff to Lee. Darts forward, met by 3 defenders in the second level. Still dragging defenders. And a strong carry on 1st down for Lee. It's a gain of 6.
When we talked to this staff yesterday from this UNLV team, the one thing that offensive coordinator Corey Dennis and head coach Dan Mullen told us, they want to start fast. They don't feel like they've played a complete 60 minutes as a team yet. First drive, very important. Set the tone early. Let's see if they can go get some points.
Utah State, this defense, playing their best game of the season in that victory against Nevada last week, looking for execution. It's Lee who executes a 1st down run here, continues to drag more weight with them. And it's an 8-yard gain, gash after gash here.
Lee does a good job following his blockers, keeping the feet moving. Big, sturdy, physical back. That's a plus as an offense, having a guy that falls forward for a couple more extra yards every time you hand him the ball.
UNLV, in the midst of their best 3-year stretch ever as a program, bowl eligible for 3 consecutive games, first time ever in program history, but they want more. Calandria looking down the field, has a receiver behind the defense, couldn't connect. The help defense coming over was intended for Jaden Bradley. That'll make it 2nd and 10.
This is what we're going to see from this UNLV offense today. They take their shots down the field. Jaden Bradley is their guy. You see a little post on the outside there, just a little bit underthrown by Calandria, but that's not going to shy him. They're going to keep going back to this deep ball all day today.
And Ben, I felt he tried to move his shoulders one time too many, and the ball was off target right there on the post.
Sometimes doing too much, not the answer at receiver.
Calandria rolling out on the move, connected, tough catch, broken up though. What a terrific defensive play. It was going for JoJo Earl, but it was the ace for Utah State, Noah Avenger, who they say is as good as it gets in the Mountain West.
The 6-foot, 190-pound senior from Cerritos, California, does a great job just playing the ball there. Can't control it through contact for JoJo Earl. Great job, Avenger, making a play for this defense early.
It's 3rd and 10, ball's on the 39. Are you thinking 2-down territory here?
I don't think so. If you're Anthony Calandria, I think just get half of it back, make it a manageable field goal.
Empty formation, the slant, it's thrown, and the catch is made for a 1st down. A critical 3rd down conversion. It's Bradley once again, 14 yards.
Great job by Calandria here. Gets through his progressions quick. You can see a little inbreaker by Jaden Bradley. Calandria a little bit off the mark, but great job by Bradley adjusting to the ball, making a play, keeping the offense on the field.
How about Bradley this season? Just a breakout year for him. In 9 games, 37 catches, 3 touchdowns, 650 yards. 2 balls caught on this drive. They go to the ground, wide open hole to the outside, bouncing it, finally getting brought down inside the 10-yard line. And they go with Caden McGee, another all-purpose athlete.
So look at this. You got the right guard pulling to the left and a little misdirection by this Rebel offense here. And the tough part about this Utah State defense, throwing a little eye candy at him early. You got the guard pulling left, you got the sweep going right. Good play call there by this Rebel offense.
16 yards for number 16. First and goal from the 9. It's Earl in motion. Lee is the back. Oh, they dropped the ball. A mishap on the exchange, but Calandra able to pounce on it, but that's a loss of 4 yards on first and goal.
That's the tough part of playing quarterback sometimes. When you live in these RPO offenses, you can see Calandra, looks like he wasn't sure if he wanted to pull it out, keep it in there. Regardless, good job getting back on the ball here on the red zone and keeping this offense on the field.
Partner, we were down on the field before this game. Those are grippy footballs right there. You saw the exchange get a little muff. So tonight's red zone is brought to you by Verizon. Now second and goal from the 13. Lee remains in the game. And once again, it is Earl in motion. The throw to the corner of the end zone. Broken up once more. Avenger all over it. That's the second pass breakup in the last handful of plays.
Noah Avenger's got his handprints all over this opening drive for this Aggie defense. Good job again there going up. Looked like it hit Jaden Bradley in the hands. Contested balls. Good job by Avenger fighting through contact and making the play.
And I would argue Bradley, he'll be the first one to tell you he's got to come down with that catch regardless of the contact. So now third and goal from the 13. You wonder, Utah State, are they thinking pressure here?
Looks like we might be getting a little bit.
They bring 5, able to pick it up. Calandria lofts it to the end zone, no good. So the Aggies hold strong. It was first and goal from the 9, and UNLV with nothing there. Holmes doing an excellent job applying some pressure.
Third downs in the red zone for a defense are essentially 4-point plays. Great job by this Aggie defense. Bend don't break on the first drive. Bow up when you get down to the goal line. Great stop here on the first drive.
Ramon Villela, 10 for 12 on field goals this year, has a long of 52. This one from the right hash. And UNLV, they strike first. The 31-yard kick is good, and the Rebels put 3 on the board. The 2 top scoring offenses in the Mountain West. We're just getting warmed up here in Vegas.
College football on CBS Sports Network is sponsored by Geico. Switch and save. Get more with Geico. By Verizon. And by Ram Trucks. Nothing stops Ram.
An oddly drizzly day in Las Vegas. We're staying warm and dry inside Allegiant Stadium. UNLV up 3-0. And how about Paul Ginther, defensive coordinator, safeties coach? He's the associate head coach. He said he came to UNLV, hopped on as the associate head coach, thought it was going to be kind of this nice retirement gig. Then all of a sudden, their previous defensive coordinator leaves in April, and Dan Mullen asks him to step up, and he certainly answered the call, and they've been playing a lot better as of late. 8
practices into spring ball is when Paul Ginther took over as defensive coordinator, and they haven't looked back.
UNLV leads 3-0. The kick, White will call for the fair catch. So the defense for UNLV, they've talked about a lot of confident players that are just trying to piece it together. Well, last week they certainly did. They held Colorado State to just 10 points. 1 for 13 on third down hasn't been the story so far today.
Nope. Utah State did a great job on that first drive. They were able to go 2 for 3, get down into opponent territory. But be alert for third downs today. That's a money down for the defense and a money down for the offense to stay on the field.
Any adjustment for Utah State? They're moving the ball very well on their last drive.
I wouldn't. Play your game, control what you can control, get into the flow of this thing.
Bryson Barnes 4 of 5 for 42 yards. The drive stalled out near the red zone last time. Fakes the handoff. They go over the top. The catch is made. Running in a sprint. It's Braden Pagan. And that almost looked very similar to the shot they missed earlier.
This is a nice little wrinkle that this offense has added this week. Last week, we saw a lot of quarterback runs with Bryson Barnes out of that same formation, the same look. They're throwing just a little bit of a glance off of it, which is a five-step slant route by Pagan. Barnes puts it right on him, move the chains.
30 yards just like that in UNLV territory. 1st and 10 from the 45. It's Jacobs the back. He motions out. Barnes this time looking at the one-on-one coverage over the top. And a little bit too much pepper on that one to Boyd. And Braden Pagan, 5 touchdowns on the year, and he is their #1 receiver. And you look at his numbers since week 3, top 10 in FBS in the production per week. On the Blitnikoff Award watch list just 2 weeks ago. Came into this game with over 700 yards. Tied for the team lead, and this just shows you how well they distribute the football.
Barnes does a really good job, was extremely complimentary of this room, this receiver room.
And we've got Barnes that is motioned to the top of your screen. And now it's Garcia that takes the snap. Garcia getting to the 2nd level. And you talked about wrinkles offensively. UNLV needs to get the iron out.
We saw a little bit of this last week too from this Aggie offense, lining up Anthony Garcia at the Wildcat quarterback position. Little read option, let your receiver, your playmaker, go make a play, do your dance. He loves it. 1st down.
Did you ever resemble any type of threat if you motioned out at quarterback?
I don't know if the defenders even went out with me.
1st and 10 from the UNLV 28. They go to the ground. It breaks open to the outside. A move and a wiggle by Davis. He is tackled. Andrew Powdrell, a nice open field tackle, but not before another 12-yard gain.
Dan Mullen told us earlier this week, this defense, the #1 key, no explosive plays for this Utah State offense. Back-to-back explosive runs there, moving the chains. This defense is going to have to lock up as we get inside the red zone.
Davis back in the game at tailback. Just under 3 minutes left here in a first quarter that has flown by. 1st and 10 from the 17. Barnes once again fakes it, throws it low and outside. Had Garcia open. Just a little off target.
Sometimes the easiest throws as a quarterback are the toughest throws. You're going to see Barnes here. Again, kind of this quarterback power, rolling to his left, trying to throw back across his body to his right. He's a little bit behind. He's probably going to wish he had that one back. That might have been 6.
That's the 3rd time they've tried this, and it's also you bring the ball from a different spot when you go to wind back and throw that.
I'm sure they saw something on tape earlier this week that they thought they could take advantage of a matchup.
2nd and 10. They fake the handoff. Barnes, clean pocket, throws it. Garcia broken up. It was Amaris Brown with his mitts all over it.
Amaris Brown is the leader for this defense, tied for the team lead with 4 interceptions. That's a pretty good ball by Bryson Barnes right there. Garcia got his hands up on it, but Brown was in his back pocket, able to stay in that trail technique and make a play late on it.
Here's another critical 3rd down. Your Utah State, what are you looking at here?
Got to get to the sticks. 3rd and 10.
Barnes looking to throw, has time, throws it high up top. Oh, the catch is made. Touchdown, Utah State. It's Brady Boyd, 17 yards, and the Aggies have taken the lead.
Fresh off of a 2-touchdown performance last week, Brady Boyd and Bryson Barnes pick up right where they left off. A little inside fade route right there. Looked like they were expecting man coverage on 3rd and long. Barnes, nice catchable ball. Boyd runs right under it, strike up the band for 6.
Boyd now takes the team lead in touchdown receptions this year. That's his 6th. He's the most consistent receiver, they say. And here's Utah State. Once again, another wrinkle. They bring the crew in, and here's the extra point attempt from Rinker. Clean is what you would expect, but Rinker having some issues here today, missing left, so a missed field goal and a missed extra point from their field goal kicker that's been perfect doesn't take away from the Brady Boyd touchdown reception as the Aggies hang up the game's first touchdown here in Las Vegas. with the 6-3 lead over UNLV. 7 plays, 75 yards in 2 minutes and 15 seconds. It was Boyd with the 17-yard catch. But we saw a wrinkle from this offense that we've seen now 3 times in this game.
The thing that's tough if you're Bryson Barnes here, rolling to the left, everything's going this way, trying to make a throw back across to the right. You can see there he leaves it a little inside. As this game progresses today, we'll see if he adjusts and can make that throw consistently.
And what is Utah State selling on that play that the defense is biting on?
Quarterback power. A couple times last week they ran that play with quarterback Bryson Barnes. That's good coaching. Game plan. That's why you watch tape. That's why you practice. That's why you do stuff. Great job having something to go off of it.
They've connected on one of those 3 looks. Here's the kickoff for Utah State. Glover calls for the fair catch. We'll get ready for some epic pitch play as some of the best clubs in women's soccer go head-to-head in the UEFA Champions League Wednesday at 12:45 Eastern. Don't miss Wolfsburg taking on Manchester United right here on CBS Sports Network and streaming live on Paramount+. You ever play any soccer here, Ben?
No. Played it growing up. Too many toe balls high and right. Decided it wasn't for me.
So they never had you pooch punt at quarterback. Well, UNLV will step back on the field, and you look at Utah State. They've hung up over 120 yards in this game already. UNLV. This time, the direct snap to Glover. Glover gets to the second level. Oh, look at the jukes. Dives forward to the 40-yard line. 15-yard gain. And now UNLV wants to switch it up a little bit.
A little bit of a wrinkle from this Rebel offense as well. Direct snap there to number 20, Jalen Glover. Fakes the pitch to Calandria. Does a good job following his lineman up through the hole, moving the chains.
Glover went over 100 yards last week in that victory over Colorado State. It's the deepest position on this UNLV team is that running back room. Bradley motions out. Glover still in the backfield. Calandria pirouettes out. This time looking down the field, laid across his body. Catch is made, but then retreating a few yards is Bradley. But again, that's been his favorite target early in this game.
This is the benefit of having an Anthony Calandria as your quarterback for this offense. Rolling left, doesn't matter, throws back across his body, puts it on Jaden Bradley, gives him a chance to get some yards after the catch there.
If you watch film of Calandria, he's very comfortable rolling to that left and throwing with the opposite arm. It's something that they do a lot of here at UNLV. Glover's going to motion out, empty backfield. 4 receivers at the bottom of your screen. Calandria looking down the field. That pass is deflected at the line of scrimmage. So Utah State, bit of a pass rush, able to get the branches up. That'll make it 2nd and 10.
I'm a big believer that tip balls should be banned from football, just purely from the quarterback's perspective.
And that
but a great job. Matyra Brown right there, getting his hand up in the passing lane. Can't get home to the quarterback? That's fine. Get your hands up, try to make a play.
Why would you ban them?
It hurts the passer rating and incompletion.
Gotta get that ball up sometimes. It's time to go to the ground with the football. That's Glover that runs into a pile. Just a gain of 1. And credit Utah State. They now have UNLV in a 3rd and long situation near midfield.
This is a big play early for this Utah State defense. And we talk about playing complementary football. The offense just did a great job the first 2 drives. Missed field goal on the first drive. Touchdown on the second drive. Let's see if the defense can get a big stop here on 3rd down and get their offense back on the field.
The traditional 3-4 set is what you see from this Utah State defense. But whether or not they bring some pressure, seeing a crowded line of scrimmage. 3rd and 9. 5 seconds on the play clock. Calandria. Pressure gets to him. Has to unload. He gets it off in time. Catch across the middle. It's O'Meara that gets into the secondary. And a 15-yard completion with Calandria staring the beast right in the eyes.
This Utah State defense brought a corner blitz right there. Best thing to do when you blitz on defense, replace the blitz on offense. Calandria finds the drag route, converts. Big play right there.
It was Olival that got to Calandria. We have an injured Aggie on the field right now. Appears to be Dylan Tucker that was part of that tackle. Seemed to take a rough hit from his own teammate. So Tucker will be helped to the sideline with 4 seconds left here in the first quarter. We'll be back from Las Vegas.
Some football trivia? Just ask Siri. Which coach has the most college football championships?
Back here in Las Vegas, Dylan Tucker was the defender, helped off the field for Utah State. The senior from Charlotte, North Carolina, will head to the injury tent. Tayshawn Lyons on that last catch for UNLV. And so the clock will run and end in the first quarter here in Las Vegas. UNLV with the ball, they trail 6-3. The two top scoring offenses in the Mountain West slowly getting out of the blocks. We continue here in Las Vegas after the break. You're watching college football on CBS Sports Network, presented by Geico. Utah State with the lead. This last third down, they had a chance to get off the field here, though, Ben.
Interesting play call by defensive coordinator Nick Howe. I want you to watch the corner, Noah Avenger up top. He's going to blitz here on third down. Great job by the back, stepping up, making a play. Calandria stands in the pocket, replaces the blitz, hits the drag, and moves the chains.
Glover on the outside, empty backfield, over the top, Calandria! And whether or not this is a touchdown, it is waved off. Incomplete. They were looking for the tight end. Varkey's Gums would have been his fourth touchdown of the year.
Great ball by Calandria right there. Unfortunately, you got to complete the catch through the ground, and it doesn't look like Gums does it right there.
That's about the third ball we've seen for UNLV that has looked like a completion that has either been broken up or they haven't brought in, and it's all been in the red zone.
Calandria has given his guys chances, throwing catchable balls, putting them where they're supposed to be. Receivers got to start making some plays.
Now you obviously have to control the ball all the way to the ground through the catch. Does that change it all in the end zone? So there's a question about the play clock right now. Some fans in the building thought they were going to review that last play, but it's ruled incomplete, makes it 2nd and 10. They've got the play clock corrected now. Glover the back. And then you hear the late timeout call coming in by Utah State. They saw something they didn't like. Officials are blowing this play dead as Calandria was sprinting into the end zone.
Timeout. Utah State.
Boos raining down here in Allegiant Stadium. Calandria gives the thumbs down. That was a late timeout that got called in, Ben.
We could hear it from up here. Probably smart to call a timeout there. That one looked like it could have been still running for Calandria.
So we mentioned the two top scoring offenses in the Mountain West. In that first quarter, Utah State piling up the yards. 127 total, 3 of 4 on third down. That's the surprising number against one of the top third down defenses in the country. And UNLV, they get off to a little bit of a slow start. First quarter has been their lowest scoring quarter this season. They're minus 21 in the first quarter, where Utah State is plus 36 on the other hand.
I don't think it's any surprise to see this UNLV team start slow. And that's one of the things that head coach Dan Mullen told us yesterday. We need to get out of the blocks fast, convert on third down, and when we get down into the red zone, we've got to be able to score touchdowns instead of kick field goals.
UNLV, do they go with a different call here?
Looks like a different formation. I would assume different call.
An empty backfield this time. Calandria scanning the field. Nearly ripped down. It tries to escape the pocket, getting to the outside, avoids the rusher, throws it late. It's intercepted on the sideline. Bo Miley, his first pick of the season as Calandria, playing with some fire there.
Sometimes when you're a gunslinger, you've got the athleticism, you've got the big time arm. Sometimes we try to do too much. Calandria, you got to know time and a place right there. You're in plus territory. It was first down. Gets out of the pocket.
Calandria throws his first interception at home of this season. Utah State ball. Career interception for Bronson Olivau Jr. and he just plays this perfectly as far as reading the eyes of Calandria.
Sometimes as a defender, you find yourself in the right spot at the right time. The ball comes your way. Great job by Olival Jr. there, making a play, getting the ball back for this offense.
We mentioned for Calandria, 8 touchdowns, 0 interceptions at home this season. That's the first pick he's thrown, and keep this in mind too. Last 2 games between UNLV and Utah State. Utah State has had 10 turnovers, UNLV 0. The Rebels have won the last 2 games. Now we go to Barnes, rolling to his right, throwing it late out of bounds. He's trying to track for Pagan. So how about this last drive for Utah State? They were able to go 75 yards in a hurry.
This is exactly what you want if you're this Utah State offense. Get your quarterback, Bryson Barnes, into a groove. Go a little wildcat with Anthony Garcia, and then let Bryson Barnes do what he does to Brady Boyd in the back corner of the end zone for 6.
So 2nd and 10 after the incompletion. Jacobs in the game. Barnes going to keep this one. Barnes scooting forward, spins out of the initial hit, able to pick up about 3 or 4 more yards after contact. Solid carry for 8 yards.
There's the toughness on display by quarterback Bryson Barnes. And ironically, there's the same kind of quarterback pop pass that we saw the last couple drives. Although that time, Barnes called his own number, stuck his head down, made a play.
Barnes obviously will take a lot of hits running the football as he does, and he'll let the coaching staff know as he feels. He looked to be a wreck after that Nevada game. The coaches were concerned. He said, "I'm all right," as he had a teammate helping him down the stairs during meetings. Big 3rd down. Barnes to the outside, falling out of bounds. Catch is made. Brock Lane able to hang on to it. And that is enough for the 1st down as Utah State converts yet another 3rd down.
The big 6'4", 240-pound tight end, Brock Lane. Get him out there on the sticks on the edge. Roll your quarterback to the right. A nice, easy completion on 3rd down there.
Lane, the graduate player from Chandler, Arizona. They say he's one of the most savvy players on this team. Critical for their run blocking as well, too. Barnes fakes the handoff, has the pressure coming, slides down and loses his footing. So a loss of 3 as Tunmiche Adalea put the heat on.
Looked like Barnes just lost his footing there. Probably smart. He would have taken an unnecessary hit there. But good job by this UNLV defense pursuing the ball and backing them up into 2nd and long here.
One of the rare times that Utah State hasn't won 1st down. It's an empty backfield. You've got 4 receivers at the top of your screen for Utah State. Barnes thought about the screen, gonna plow right ahead. What a hole that opens up for him. Dives forward for the 1st down. 15-yard gain as the screen fooled UNLV.
Great formation here by this offense. Looks like it could have been a screen or a quarterback draw. Barnes is reading the box count right there, sees a light box, catches the snap, puts his back foot in the ground, gets north and south and makes a play.
Nice block from Jimmy Liston as well, too. The center scooting down the field, able to pick up a body. So it's 1st down from their own 42 for Utah State. Barnes keeps it, tucks it in his left hand, upended. Right around the 1st down marker. It's a 10-yard gain, and they will keep the sticks moving as Barnes is in a groove.
Looked like a read option there from Barnes. You can see number 8, Jevin Jacobs, coming back across the screen. Barnes is reading the DN there, does a good job selling the play fake, pulling it out of there and getting north and south.
Feels as though UNLV is just guessing right now on defense. There's so many things that Utah State's throwing at him. Barnes, eyes downfield, fires a rocket, wide open! Oh, it's Noah White! White in the open field, rushing towards the end zone, brought down just inside the 1-yard line. A 46-yard completion. Nobody in the same area code.
This Utah State offense is doing an unbelievable job mixing up personnel, mixing up formations. That play call right there, there's no one within 20 yards of Noah White. Great job by offensive coordinator Kevin McGivern dialing this one up. You got misdirection coming out of the backfield. Barnes rolling right, and a Noah White wide open down there on the 20-yard line.
Both tight ends in the game right now. Lane and Sturzer. Davis is the back. They motion down Pagan. Barnes keeping it, trying to find a seam, loses his footing, stumbles forward. Looks like he's going to be stopped just short. That'll make it 2nd and goal.
This is where having a big, tough, physical quarterback helps. He might have been in there.
That's close right there, Ben.
Have to take another look at that.
Let's see where the keister lands at. Where's the ball? It was called short on the field. He might have been just a little bit short, I think. 2nd and goal. Lots of weight at the line of scrimmage. Barnes under center. Barnes the give. It's Davis. No signal yet. And it's a touchdown, Utah State.
Utah State rolling on offense, playing great complementary football, going down after the interception, converting it into points. Great job by this offense, taking advantage of the extra possession and punching that one in from the goal line.
First score of the day for Miles Davis. His 7th touchdown of the season. They go 9 plays, 82 yards in 4.5 minutes after the interception by Olival. Keep in mind, UNLV, they don't give up a lot of points off of turnovers this season. So Utah State, this defense, we asked about the momentum coming in after that victory at Nevada. They are holding the #1 scoring team in the conference to just 3 points in the first 20 minutes of this game. Here's Rinker that just wants to see something go through the uprights here, and we have movement on the UNLV side.
I would go for 2 here. Half the distance, you're already at 12. I'd go for 2.
Offside. Defense, number 30, with contact. Penalties half the distance to the goal line. Still the try.
Looks like they're thinking about it down here. Coach Mendenhall, see if he keeps the kicking unit out there.
I agree with you. A chance to go up 14-3, 11-point lead. They're going to keep the kicking team out there, so it's Rinker, and I wonder how much of this is just for Rinker to get his confidence, just to see something go through.
Interesting. Looks like they declined that penalty.
Okay, they declined the penalty. Why would you decline that?
I'm not sure, honestly.
Here's Rinker for the extra point, and it's good. So that makes it 13-3 Utah State. The defense got things going. It was Olival picking off Calandria near the sideline, his first interception of the year, and then the Aggie offense going 80+ yards with Davis punching it in. Count on an NFL on CBS doubleheader with early action, headlined by an outstanding matchup between the Buccaneers and the Bills. Later, a crucial game in the AFC West when the Chiefs take on the division-leading Denver Broncos. It all begins at noon Eastern, live in Denver with the NFL Today. You can always count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS and streaming on Paramount+. You got Mahomes and Knicks and the 8-2 Denver Broncos. Both these teams have combined to win every AFC West title since 2010.
Feels like a must-win for the Chiefs, and it's weird. We haven't said that about a Chiefs team led by Patrick Mahomes in a couple years. But this Denver team is hot right now at 8-2. Big one tomorrow for both of those teams.
Well, Utah State currently the one team that's hot here, up 13-3. Glover will signal for the fair catch. And when we look at these two coaches, Dan Mullen and Bronco Mendenhall, well, they've met with each other several times. See Bronco at BYU, Mendenhall at Utah, and they both met in the Orange Bowl. And then tonight, their first meeting in 2,147 days. And we had a great conversation with both of them, and Mendenhall highlighted just the character of his team. We have no issues whatsoever. These are great guys to coach, and for Mullen, he loves coaching his players because all of his guys just love ball, he said. The handoff to Lee. Keep in mind, Jaden Thomas, the team's leading rusher, has not seen the field yet tonight, not even on the sidelines. We talked about a rushing attack that went for 300+ yards against Colorado State. Currently tonight, just over 50 yards.
And Thomas averaged over 18 yards a carry last week. Basically half of their rushing attack, so that's a big loss for this offense.
2nd and 8 for Calandria. Quick shot to the outside. The catch is made. That is O'Meara with the 6-yard completion, the transfer from Arizona State that has played in some big-time games.
If the name sounds familiar, it probably is. Troy O'Meara. You saw him for Arizona State last year in the college football playoff, playing against the Texas Longhorns. For one reason or another, it didn't work out. Finds himself here at UNLV, and he's doing a great job for this offense.
This is a big third down for UNLV. They've got to sustain something and get back on the scoreboard here. Utah State showing a little bit of pressure. They rush 4. They flip it out. Great call by UNLV. Nobody there at all as Lee catches it and runs it out of bounds for 10 yards and another first down.
The pre-snap motion is to tell Anthony Colandrea, am I getting man, am I getting zone coverage right here? As soon as he sees Noah Avenger travel with his receiver, got it. Man coverage, go to my matchup, hits his back out of the backfield and converts.
Olival got tangled up in the route by the tight end and couldn't get there in time, so it makes it 1st and 10 for UNLV, a critical third down completion for them. Colandrea just 7 of 14 with 69% on the year coming in. This time running all around the pocket, trying to buy some time, nearly slips. Still drawing in the dirt, finally hit. Colandrea runs 30 yards for a 4-yard gain, and a flag comes in late. It's been a rather clean game penalty-wise so far.
Personal foul, face mask, defense, number 28, 15-yard penalty, and an automatic first down.
That's Carson Tujay, and that's just a tough one when you force Colandrea to scamper around like that and then you tack it on.
Exactly. Hard to really put into words. You make the quarterback run around the field, do everything you got to do. The defense is plastering the receivers, and you kind of bail the offense there with a face mask at the end of the play.
It's the first penalty of the night that's been accepted, and it'll put UNLV in Utah State territory. They go to the ground. It's Lee rolling forward, 3-yard gain. Hamblin was the one coming downhill delivering the hit. Nice little changeup from UNLV, looking to run it more on first down.
And I think that's what they have to do to be able to get in third and manageable, stay out of third and long. They've got to be efficient on first and second down. And this Utah State defense, they came into this game 19 passing touchdowns allowed, the most in the Mountain West. They've done a really good job today of keeping these receivers in check.
Lee is still the back. They fake it to Lee. Colandrea looking down the field, throws it late and short. Was trying to connect with O'Meara, just off target.
It looked like Colandrea actually had Jaden Bradley running across the field there versus man coverage. As you can see here, he's working outside leverage by Avenger, does a good job stair-stepping him at the top. Colandrea is going to watch that one tomorrow and might wish he had that one back.
Yeah, D'Angelo Mays in coverage, blanketing O'Meara right there. Now it's 3rd and 7. Possible 2-down territory here, you think about. They empty the backfield. Colandrea scanning, fires into traffic. Ball is popped up, broken up. Terrific coverage. We've mentioned this secondary has been dialed in. That is Taylor that got a hand on it.
Late over the middle as a quarterback normally never ends well. He's lucky that one wasn't intercepted. Tried to fit that one into a pretty tight window right there. Good job by the defense making a play.
4th and 7, they're going for it.
Interesting call at this point in the game. See if it pays off.
Colandrea fires away again. Catch is made for the first down. Oh, down to their last chip, and they hit O'Meara with the catch for 16 yards and the first down.
Great job by Colandrea. Stands in the pocket. 4th down. Know you might get heated up, might take a hit, might not be able to see your receiver. Does a good job standing in there, delivering a strike to O'Meara to move the chains on a big 4th down here early in the second quarter.
You mentioned a gutsy call. 4th and 7, but they were in that gray area, just outside the range of Vela. 1st and 10 now from the 21. They fake the reverse. Colandrea still on his feet, nearly leveled. But again, you see the escapability and the wiggle of Colandrea for 7 yards.
He is fun to watch. Kind of makes me hold my breath a little bit up here You see the fake reverse there to Lyons. Calandria gets the edge. Don't let that ball come too far away from your body. I've been there. I've done that. Anthony Calandria, take one from the Ben DiNucci playbook.
So Calandria is out right now. You've got Lee. And in the game is Cameron Friel, who played terrific as a freshman, was the Mountain West Conference Freshman of the Year. This time takes it in. Nice little run right up the gut for 4 yards in the first down for UNLV.
We're seeing some similar play calling here from both offensive coordinators. A little quarterback power there with the backup. Cameron Friel, I don't blame you, 6'3", 230-pound senior from Hawaii. Put him in the game on short yardage, get an extra hat in the run game. I wonder if we'll see that as the game goes on.
Don't forget they have Alex Orji on the sideline. The transfer from Michigan got hurt earlier this year. Calandria first and goal, running to the left. Oh, it's wide open. Calandria diving for the touchdown. And UNLV has made this a one-score game.
What a play, Anthony Calandria. Put your foot in the ground, race to the pylon, untouched. See you later. Big answer for this UNLV offense. Much needed right there. Way to step up. Your big-time quarterback in a big-time spot, finding a way to making a play, putting points on the board.
Viella for the extra point. 11 plays, 75 yards, 4 minutes and 45 seconds. And it is good. So UNLV, they were staring at a 4th and 7, but Calandria puts the team on his shoulders. And here in the red zone, sprints to pay dirt. 13-10, Utah State leads. Critical plays on that last scoring drive for UNLV.
Anthony Calandria, big play out of the backfield to his running back, Kevon Lee, staying in the pocket on 4th down, delivering a strike, and then making a one-on-one play to go find 7 at the end. Big-time response from this offense after Utah State's been rolling.
You mentioned coming into this game that for Utah State, Bryson Barnes is one of just 6 quarterbacks with 17 touchdowns through the air, 7 on the ground. Well, now Anthony Calandria joins that club with his 7th rushing touchdown of the season. But more importantly for UNLV, it gets him right back in this game because Utah State was starting to run away with this thing.
And that's exactly what they needed. And even though Utah State got out to an early start, the thing about both of these offenses, when you're that explosive and can strike that fast, you never really feel out of it.
Noah White back to receive for Utah State. Keep this in mind with just under 5:30 left here in the first half. Utah State will receive the second half kickoff. Well, Bryson Barnes has been terrific so far today, and we mentioned it, arms and legs has been a threat.
Hasn't tried to do too much, is playing with inside the system, giving his receivers nice catchable balls, doing it on the ground on the quarterback draw, and then a little bit of trickery here, finding his guy Noah White out of the backfield, which sets up the touchdown a little bit later in the drive.
Feels like the challenge now for UNLV is to try to not be caught guessing. They haven't really been able to hit a lot of these fits here. As Barnes this time, well defended by that front 7 for UNLV.
The game plan offensively for Utah State has been, I think, awesome tonight. They're mixing up looks, they're mixing up personnels. They're doing a really good job of scheming this UNLV defense and getting guys open in the secondary.
We were talking to Kevin McGibbon. We asked him, where has this team improved the most? He said, I've learned where to get the ball in the hands of the playmakers. There's so many of them working on that distribution. Barnes over the top. It pops free. Catch is not made. A little underthrown. Was looking for Boyd. And you jumped up right here.
That one had home run written all over it. You can see Barnes knows he might have missed one there. The same route we saw in the touchdown earlier in the game. Little inside fade. Ideally, that's for man coverage. They got the perfect look right there. Barnes, give it a little bit more. Let your guy go make a play.
Move Ben Wahan on coverage, and now it makes it 3rd and 7 for UNLV. Are you thinking a little pressure here, knowing that Barnes can run it?
Looks like we might get pressure. We got guys at the line of scrimmage. Let's see what they do.
They drop. They rush 5, though. Barnes gets sandwiched. Brought down. Getting home was Jake Pope. They move them all over the field, and it's a 3-yard loss.
The disguise here by this UNLV defense is awesome. Looks like pressure, pressure, pressure. Roll it. McDuffie drops out. You're getting Mumu Bin Wahad off the slot. Line can't seem to pick it up in time. The disguise, the pressure there on 3rd down gets home.
What a time for UNLV to force the first 3 and out. For Utah State, it's the first punt of the game as well, too, for Landon Rico. And it's going to be Irvin Jr. that catches in. He'll pick up a couple of yards. And so this game has huge Mountain West implications. And you've got 6 teams right now that are bowl eligible. Utah State just needs one more win to become bowl eligible. And the battle for first place next on CBS Sports Network. How about this game? Boise State clashing with San Diego State. New Mexico, one of the great stories of programs that have turned it around in the last couple of years. 4-game winning streak. And then Nevada, after struggling against Utah State last week, they knock out San Jose State 55-10. Galandria, the handoff to Glover. Fits the hole, and as we check out the standings, that Boise State San Diego State game looms large. But Hawaii, New Mexico, UNLV, Utah State, Fresno State, you're looking at 5 teams that have just 2 losses, and there'll be a 6th team after tonight.
This should be really fun down the stretch, seeing how this Mountain West plays out. A lot of these teams at the top play each other these next couple weeks. So let's see if the cream of the crop rises and who can come out on top.
Glover remains the back on 2nd and 7. They fake it to him. Calandria, deep drop back, unloads it, trying to go over the top. Just outside the outreached arms of Gums. Another near miss for him.
You're going to see motion here by the slot receiver from right to left. Calandria is going to drift a little bit to his left, and it looks like we're getting a leak route right there by Gums. Again, a pretty good ball by Calandria right there, just over the outstretched fingertips of Gums. Brings up a 3rd down here. Important play for this Aggie defense.
Calandria, we'll talk more about his completion percentage here in a second. This time hits his receiver across the middle, reaching for the first down. The catch was made by Reynolds. It's a 7-yard completion, and that was right near the first down marker. They're going to be just short, so a decision coming up here on 4th and 1.
Big play here in this game. If I'm UNLV, if I'm Coach Dan Mullen, 3 minutes left in the half. Defense is playing well the last drive. Your offense played well the last drive. I would think about punting this ball. If they don't get this right here, this gives the Aggies great field position going in here to the half.
See, I argue with you because Lee and Glover have been terrific on the ground. It's a timeout, Utah State. It's their second
Utah State,
of the
their
half.
second of the
it's
half.
4th and
30
1
seconds.
Coming up here for UNLV. So you think the Rebels should punt here?
I just think 2 minutes and 44 seconds left in this half. They're on the 45-yard line. If they don't get this, you're handing this offense that's been red hot for a majority of this first half a short field with a couple minutes left in this half. I just think the smart play here is punting this one away.
And they're actually at their own 39, so that makes it even more difficult. You did just force a 3 and out, and Rinker is 1 for 3 on all of his kicks today. That includes 2 extra points. And if you look at really the makeup of this UNLV team, their DNA is to be aggressive. And Calandria, his numbers today came in top of the Mountain West at 69% completion percentage. Today, 9 of 19. His receivers have had some drops out there, though.
I don't think that 9 of 19 number is very indicative of how he's thrown the ball this first half. As you mentioned, a couple drops, the one bad play, the interception a couple drives ago that led to Utah State points. But Calandria is certainly under his mark for the year.
UNLV has 3 timeouts. You try to get Utah State to jump here.
I would imagine they're going to do a little bit of that. 4th and 1. Expect man coverage on defense. No safety in the middle of the field. I would expect pressure.
Lee is the back, and now the chess match continues as UNLV will use one of their timeouts. So we'll be back in 30 seconds as Dan Mullen mulls it over. 2:44 left in this one. Utah State leads 13-10. Right now it's 4th and 1, and a decision here for UNLV. They keep the offense on the field. And Calandria shouting instructions out to the receivers to the outside. You wonder if they're going to try and draw Utah State off here. Lots of motioning. They're going to give it an honest attempt. Calandria, no, doesn't get it. Oh, he is bulldozed behind the line of scrimmage. What a stop by the Utah State defense. John Miller laying the lumber.
That is the play of the game right now for this Utah State team. A massive momentum swing here, getting the ball back after a 4th and short stop with a couple minutes left to go here in this half. Giving your offense a short field with the lead. John Miller recognizing the play and just stuffing Calandria at the line of scrimmage.
That was UNLV trying to keep that drive going. They were going to get the ball to start the second half. They deferred the opening kick, and so now Utah State, they've got a timeout. They're going to have the 2-minute timeout coming up here soon, and they have a short field. Barnes was looking for the shot. Barnes this time, he'll take a solid shot himself. As Blessing, Alualo, Tuialamotu with the hit.
That is a great decision right there by Bryson Barnes, one that will probably go overlooked in the box score. They are in no hurry right here to score. You got the 2-minute warning, you got a timeout. You've already got the ball on this Rebels side of the field. Good job not forcing something down the field there on 1st and 10.
2nd and 9, Davis is the back. Barnes scanning the field, going through his progression, catch is made, it's Pagan. Met by 3 defenders, it's a 1st down. So it's the 2-minute timeout after the 15-yard completion. Utah State in business once again. Utah State leads 13-10, just under 2 minutes left. Ball on UNLV's 23-yard line. A couple of miscues for the Rebels here already in the first half.
Started early, Anthony Calandria breaks the pocket. Don't do too much as a quarterback sometimes, throws the interception there. And then the 4th and 1 on the last drive. A bit of a head scratcher if you're Dan Mullen here at this point in the game. Backed up in your own territory. I question the thought process there on 4th and short. That was a massive momentum swing, giving this Utah State offense a chance to score points here before the half.
And you called it. You get the ball to start the second half. Your defense had just forced a 3 and out. And Utah State only had 1 timeout remaining as well, too. But now the Aggies lead by 3. They still have that timeout, and they are in wonderful field position. Boyd motions across. Barnes looking, late throw, can't handle it. Threw it behind Garcia, would have been a tough catch.
Barnes is lucky this one wasn't intercepted and going the other way. It looked like Marcel McDuffie might have got his hands up and made a play on that one. Almost.
It's a tip ball.
Tip ball.
You don't like those tip balls.
Don't like tip balls.
So UNLV breaking that one up makes it 2nd and 10. 1:53 remaining. The give to Jacobs, and it's Fuller right there in on the tackle. A 2-yard gain. That's going to make it 3rd and long.
This is where I think offensive coordinator Kevin McGivern, this is a positive to being able to communicate with your quarterback and have a microphone in the quarterback's helmet. He's got to be telling Bryson Barnes right here, take care of the ball. We've got 3 points in our back pocket. This is a 3rd down. Expect some pressure. Looks like we're getting some threats at the line of scrimmage here by this UNLV defense, but protect the ball if you're Bryson Barnes.
3rd and 8. Barnes, they bring the pressure. They pick it up over the top in the corner of the end zone. Can't haul it in with one hand. Would have been a highlight reel catch from Pagan. But he can't bring it in, and that'll force 4th down.
Utah State must see something they like from this 3rd down defense of UNLV. That's the 3rd time this game on a 3rd down we've seen this slot fade thrown. First for a touchdown, the second one Barnes threw a little underthrown in the middle of the field. That one just missed to Pagan.
Tanner Rinker, who was 10 for 10 coming into this game, has already missed a field goal and an extra point here in the first half. This one straight down the middle from 39 yards out. Oh, it's a fake! touchdown! They can't execute it, and what a miscue. Unbelievable. There have been issues with the snap all night long for Utah State. You have to wonder, was this designed or was this a poor snap?
Dan Mullen has thrown a bone there after that 4th and 1 decision. Hard for me to tell if that was a fake, if that was a miscue. Let's check this one out.
That's a fake all day.
Looks like the holder thought it was a fake. The kicker ran up like he was about to kick it. You had a few guys releasing downfield. Regardless, a miscommunication there at a crucial time when you could have had points and extended this lead going into half.
There was a miscommunication there. Somebody wasn't looking for the ball when it was time to pass that. So now UNLV, they've got 2 timeouts, just over a minute left. It's Calandria that takes a hard hit. And the clock will continue to run here. Picks up about 2 yards. And if you're UNLV, are you going to be aggressive here, or do you just want to make sure you protect the football, knowing that you get it to start the second half?
Doesn't look like Dan Mullen's in much of a rush here. Couple timeouts at your disposal.
Calandria trying to redirect traffic, going to dump it off. A dangerous throw. That was late.
Be careful, Anthony Calandria. This one hurt you earlier in the game. Rolling right, trying to throw back. A little lazy there, left it inside. Almost had another one going the other way.
That was Charger Doty, one of the backup safeties, that broke it up. Now it's 3rd and 9, and
I would expect this ball to be handed off, going to half. And as I say that, they break the huddle and empty. So looks like we're still going to try to move the chains and see if we can get some points here.
Lee, the back, is at the top of your screen. Calandria, easy pitch and catch. Finds Irvin. Irvin near midfield. It's a first down and a 14-yard gain. 31 seconds left. Clock stops. 2 timeouts still remaining for UNLV. They hurry to the line of scrimmage. Clock starts. Empty backfield once again. Calandria burning precious seconds. Gets the snap off. Calandria dancing in the pocket. Needs to get rid of it. And that ball is called a catch on the sideline, but then a flag flies in late. One official threw his hat off, and now they're having a conversation.
Looks like Kevon Lee might have been out of bounds and didn't reestablish himself before he came back in bounds. That's normally what that call is when you see the official lose his hat like that.
That was a longer developing operation right there as we get the call.
Illegal touching. Offense, number 2. That foul is the previous spot and loss of down. 2nd down.
This is a spot where Anthony Calandria has to know the situation. You've got a couple timeouts in your back pocket. As you can see, Lee goes out of bounds, comes back in, can't do that. But Anthony Calandria, situational football. If you got to scramble and lose a couple ticks off the clock here, I'm not sure that's the best decision. Throw that one away. Time is of the essence here.
Target line's the 35-yard line. They have 18 seconds and 2 timeouts. Calandria, pressure coming, dumps it off. It's Lee. Lee barreling forward, picks up the first down. That'll stop the clock. 10 seconds remaining. It's a 12-yard gain. They're just outside field goal range. Well, coming up on the Verizon halftime report, as we have a timeout called, our good friends Brent Stover, Kevin Carter, and Cardale Jones will break down our game and catch you up on all the day's action from around the country. Some terrific games across the land here, and have one brewing right here in Las Vegas as we look forward to the Verizon halftime report here shortly. So now, if you're thinking about this, 10 seconds remaining, you have 1 timeout, you're about 7 to 8 yards outside of field goal range. What's the play here for UNLV?
Ideally, you're going to see at most 2 balls here to the sidelines. You've got a timeout, so ideally this ball could go in play. Don't know if I would necessarily try that here with only 10 seconds on the clock, but with a timeout, with this offense, the way that they've gone on this drive, I would expect the ball to go towards the sideline, try to get 5, 8 yards here, make it a manageable field goal. You're not trying to get a touchdown.
How much time needs to be left in order for them to run a second play and still leave time for a field goal attempt after that?
I think 10 seconds, 12 seconds is probably your max in this situation.
So 10 seconds remaining. Calandria, deep drop back, time's ticking, has to get rid of it, dumps it off, catch is made near the sideline, ruled incomplete, and now with 4 seconds remaining, there might not be time for one more play in a timeout.
I like Calandria trying to make a play there, but again, only 10 seconds. That took up 6. That was your shot right there. I'd be shocked if they don't bring the field goal unit out here or just try to throw one deep to the end zone.
So as it stands, this would be around a 58-yard field goal possibly. And they're going to go ahead and give this a shot. Ramon Villela, his long this season is 50. This is officially 59 yards. Lining up from the right hash to try and get some more points before halftime. And this kick is going to be short. So that'll do it for the first half. UNLV, they come up short on the 59-yard field goal attempt, but they will receive the second half kickoff and simply just didn't have enough juice.
If I'm Utah State, I would have thought about putting a returner back there. You know it's a little bit out of his range. That one fell a little bit short. Might have had a chance to make a play on that.
Well, that's the end of the first half with the score 13-10 between the two top scoring offenses in the Mountain West. We'll send you back to New York right after these messages. You're watching College Football on CBS Sports Network, presented by Geico. To Las Vegas, first half stats between the Aggies and Rebels, pretty even across the board. The one difference, UNLV, it's their first turnover in the last 3 games against Utah State. Jordan Kent alongside Ben DiNucci, and you look at this game, it's the 2 top scoring offenses in the Mountain West. We talked about it coming in. The difference seems to be Utah State, their offense has UNLV guessing just a little bit more.
The game plan on the offensive side of the ball for Utah State has been awesome. Mixing up formations, mixing up personnels. You've got different guys in different spots every play. They're keeping this Rebels defense on their ears, on their toes, and they're going to need to keep doing that here in the second half.
Head, shoulders, knees, and toes.
Exactly.
It's been all over the place. We've had some great highlights in the first half, and both quarterbacks looking like they're in rhythm. We began with Utah State.
Let's start with Bryson Barnes doing it through the air. Finds his receiver, Brady Boyd, in the back of the end zone. Miles Davis punching it in from the goal line. And then on the flip side, Anthony Calandria doing it with the legs. On the other hand, we've had some miscues in the first half. A missed field goal, a missed extra point by Utah State, and whatever this was supposed to be.
I believe it was a fake. Either way, a big mistake right before halftime. And how about Utah State? They are 5-0 when leading at half this season. They're also undefeated when they hold their opponents to under 30 points. UNLV, those 10 points, tied for their lowest first half output. The only other time that happened, they ended up putting up 40+ and a come-from-behind victory against Miami, Ohio on the road. And so UNLV will start the second half with the ball, and we've seen a lot of drop passes by the Rebels. Calandria getting that ball delivered on target. Some of the receivers not hauling it in. That's led to his lower than normal completion percentage. Calandria just 48% on the evening he came in, nearly 70%. And here we go to begin the second half of action in Las Vegas. It's Glover. And not much drama on these kickoffs here this evening as we take a look at both these quarterbacks that are pretty similar coming in. Barnes 1 touchdown through the air. Calandria's ran for 1. So far it's been Barnes that's been slightly more efficient.
The big mistake here, Anthony Calandria, 1 turnover as they crossed the Utah State side of the field there in the first half. Clean some of the mistakes up here in the second half. Let's see if we can get some more points on the board.
What'd your dad text you after that?
He said he reminds me of me. I said, thanks, Pops. Enjoy the game from the couch.
Calandria, nice throw to the outside. Diving catch made. Shades of a young Ben DiNucci there. 6-yard completion. It's Bradley with another catch.
Good job. First play call coming out of half. Getting Calandria a nice, easy completion on the edge. Finding his guy, Jaden Bradley. We heard his name a bunch in the first half. They're going to need him to step up big in the second half.
2nd and 4, UNLV. We mentioned Calandria threw his first pick at home this season. Earlier, it's Lee. He has stood up. And the Utah State front seven, Hamblin and Olival bowing up. As we look at the first half possessions, a field goal on the opening drive, and then you see the interception, the touchdown, and then 2 missed opportunities.
Just some big miscues here by this UNLV offense. When you're playing a team like Utah State, who's been very opportunistic today, that stuff's going to come back to bite you in the second half. They got to clean it up.
UNLV sitting at 7-2. If they win out, it would be the first time in program history they've had back-to-back 10-win seasons. Calandria, the throw, it's deflected, nearly picked off. So Utah State forces a 3-and-out. Bradley was the intended target, and it's Miller that reads it.
Great job by Miller. You can see he's just flowing with Anthony Calandria's eyes, takes him right into the passing lane, almost makes an incredible interception. But regardless, a 3-and-out to start this second half for this Aggies defense. You can't ask for a better way to start the second half.
Cam Brown is set to punt here. Brown, a spiraling punt, covers a lot of distance. It's Davis that fields it. Davis running to the outside. He'll return it just inside the 20-yard line. 53 yards on the punt. And throughout the Aggies' first half possessions, we mentioned the special teams miscues. You see a couple of them there, but those back-to-back touchdowns drives have been the difference.
And they did a really good job in this first half. 11 plays, 52 yards on the opening drive. Unfortunately, missed a field goal. Job by Miller. You can see he's just flowing with
open field, but then decleated as Jacobs. 11-yard gain though, and a first down.
At halftime, this Utah State offense probably went in, made some adjustments, and said, what do we need to do this second half? The first half, you saw that exact same play with Bryson Barnes, the fake quarterback power. We were getting the receivers involved on slants, some glances. That time, it's the running back out of the backfield. Add a little bit of a wrinkle for the second half.
Davis back in the game at back. Barnes fakes the handoff, throws the slant, ball in the air. It was dangerous. Boyd was the intended target. It was up for grabs for a moment. Utah State dodges one there.
This looks like a little bit of an RPO here from Bryson Barnes. He's reading the outside linebacker. Does a good job of putting it on his guy there, Brady Boyd, who's usually pretty sure-handed. Had the big touchdown in the back of the end zone in the first half. Looks like that one got to his body. Wasn't able to get his hands up on that one.
Those are tough slants to catch with the hands the other way when they're high, especially. They fake the handoff. Barnes to the outside. It's Pagan with the catch. And Pagan will pick up a couple extra after the reception, 6 yards to make it a manageable third down coming up. Now we've seen the two-way threat here that Barnes is. It's 3rd and 3. What are you thinking here if you're trying to pick this up in your Utah State?
I would expect man coverage on defense from this UNLV defense. Bryson Barnes, if nothing's there, if you don't like your matchups, use your legs. Use it to your advantage. Go make a play here on third down if you don't like what you see.
UNLV came into this game with a 27% third down defense. Utah State 4 of 7 already on third down. It's Barnes with a couple of lead blockers. Barnes leaps. A little bounce from Barnes as he scoops up the first down.
I love it. Take the thinking out of it from offensive coordinator Kevin McGivern. Let's just dial up Bryson Barnes' number. I don't know if I'd necessarily recommend going airborne like that. But if you got the athleticism, tailbone might be hurting tomorrow morning. Who cares? First down, move the sticks.
It's at least 36 inches for Barnes right there. I'll give it to him.
He was horizontal, not vertical.
1st and 10. Ball on the 43. Barnes fakes the handoff. Long throw to the outside. Garcia, the grab and the sprint upfield. Drugged down, but in UNLV territory. And another first down.
We're seeing Bryson Barnes operate from the pocket, quick to start this second half. Yes, no answers outside, getting the ball out of his hands. Looks like we might be seeing some tempo for the first time from this offense.
Aggies wanting to step on the gas here. 1st and 10 from the UNLV 46. Another play action throw, the catch, the weave. Falling down is Pagan. And right now you are seeing a quarterback and receivers on the same page.
Barnes does a good job selling the run. Headsy play right there by Braden Pagan, kind of slowing himself up in the hole, taking the hit off, catching the ball, and protecting his quarterback.
Barnes now at 200 yards passing on the evening. Still lots of time to go. The carry, Davis gets tripped up, picks up 1 yard. I'll make it 2nd and 9. Davis trying to avoid the turf monster there. And felt like he should have gotten a couple more.
Sometimes the turf monster isn't your friend. We talked to Miles Davis earlier this week. The one thing he said coming into the season that he wanted to improve on, be a better teammate, and he's done that.
That was Trey Anderson, the left tackle, looked to be in a little bit of discomfort. We'll keep an eye on that. They empty the backfield. Barnes scanning the progression, throws another missile across the middle. Garcia can't handle it, and we've seen that unfortunately a couple of times for the Aggies. That connection missing in the red zone.
We're not used to seeing Bryson Barnes miss over the middle of the field. A couple times in the first half, and again here to start the second, just a little bit behind his receivers. Really tough for Anthony Garcia to make a play there. He's running over the middle, has to try to adjust, and the ball just a little bit behind.
3rd and 9, are you thinking 2-down territory?
I'm thinking pressure. Here it comes from this defense.
And we have a timeout called by Utah State, and normally they have a rock-solid kicking game.
Timeout.
We mentioned Rinker came
Utah
into this game
State.
10 for 10. Well, think about it. Both field goal attempts have yielded 0 points. You've had a missed kick and a botched fake, and then you had 1 missed extra point as well too. So where's your confidence level in your kicking game right now when you're looking at the ball being on the 28-yard line? So here are the missed opportunities. 7 points have been left off the board. Here's the missed field goal earlier from Rinker, his first miss of the season. Then the missed extra point looked like one of my tee shots. And then, as you mentioned, was this a fake? The knee was down immediately. You pointed it out from the holder.
I would wait to see what this 3rd down call is going to be and how much yards they get here. If you're in a 4th and 9 and don't gain anything here, I don't see a reason why you would go for it. But if you get half back here, you get into a 4th and short, a 4th and manageable, or you can lean on your big back, Miles Davis, or call a couple of those quarterback runs that you call in the first half with Bryson Barnes. But they're going to need some yards here regardless. Looks like we might be getting pressure again from this defense.
With 9 yards, does UNLV bring pressure, or do they drop to the sticks? They rush 4. Barnes trying to escape the pocket. Late throw, finds his man. It's Boyd. The patience rewarded. 17 yards. And the crafty Bryson Barnes extends the drive.
Great job by Bryson Barnes getting up, feeling the pressure from both edges, stepping up in the pocket. Sometimes the hardest thing as a quarterback, keeping your eyes downfield on the scramble drill.
And a flag comes in prior to the snap.
Illegal snap. Offense, number 55. 5-yard penalty. 1st down.
Settle back. Utah State up. That's Jimmy Liston getting the flag. Well, tonight's Red Zone is brought to you by Verizon. That'll make it 1st and goal from the 15-yard line.
2 trips, 2 touchdowns for this offense. Really efficient. Let's see if they can make it 3 for 3.
10th play of the drive. You've got Jacobs and White in the backfield. White motioning out. Barnes wants to go one-on-one up top. Sails the pass over the head. He's looking for Pagan. Welch in coverage. And LaTerrence Welch. He's having a good year, getting better every game.
The 6'1", 190-pound senior from Lafayette, Louisiana. 4 interceptions on the year. He's been locking down his side of the field. Tied for the team lead with Amaris Brown. First time we've called his name today. He's got the job of locking up Braden Pagan in the second half.
2nd and goal from the 15 for Utah State. Barnes, the late throw. The strike is delivered to Pagan. He is hit short of the end zone. 12-yard completion. Ball's going to be at about the 2.5-yard line. 3rd and goal coming up.
Another one of those funky RPOs right there by this offense. Barnes is making good decisions. You can see the ball is out there before Pagan even gets out of his break. Big play coming up here on the goal line. I would look for a play call to give Barnes an option. Keep it on the ground. Let him do it through the air. Let's see what they dial up.
And I think this is a run. You saw Pagan motion a running idea. It's going to be a pass instead. Barnes rolling to the right. Barnes gobbled up. A loss on third down. 5-yard loss. Osei Egbase getting the sack.
Bryson Barnes, a little bit of situational awareness here. Throw this ball away. You might have a chance to go for it on fourth down. Nothing's open. Nothing good ever happens on the sidelines late. Get rid of it. Don't take the extra hit. Here comes a special teams unit.
Here's Rinker, 24-yard attempt from the right hash to try and put Utah State up 6. And Rinker drills it. So Utah State, their opening drive. It's lengthy, and they are on the board once again. They lead by 6. Utah State leads 16-10. Bronco Mendenhall in his first season at the helm for the Aggies, trying to pick up a big win. You got a big win against Bronco Mendenhall back in the day. Oh, look at the steely glaze.
No facial hair, a young Ben DiNucci. No problem for this Bronco Mendenhall team. Showed some moves outside of the pocket. Tough, rainy day in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Knew we were going to get a hard-nosed defense. Had to make some plays, and we did that. Fun going up against Coach Mendenhall. Fun talking to him earlier this week, reliving some memories, but the good old days right there.
Well, look at the arm sleeve. You had some pretty nice drip back then.
That Anthony Calandra is probably watching my highlights before the game and said, "This looks pretty good. I'm gonna try this."
So obviously Utah State, Bronco Mendenhall doing a great job. Keep in mind, there's 69 new players on the team this year, and he's really talked about this culture, and he has found success at so many of his stops, and the longest was at BYU, where he was there and went to a bowl game in 11 straight seasons, leading the Cougars. They had 2 conference championships. Now, I played against Bronco Mendenhall, did not have the same result. Unfortunately, we played against BYU back in 2006. See, they didn't have HD back then.
Who is this guy?
That is a young kid that made some poor decisions with his facial hair. And those helmets, they are quickly forgotten in Oregon football lore. We got beat 38-6 by BYU. They came in and crushed us, but we had a good laugh about it. And Bronco Mendenhall, who has a son on the team, said, "I just realized how old I am as I get a chance to hear back about some of these memories." So right now, Mendenhall pleased with his defense as they continue to really step up here in the second half. That's the first loss on a carry, it feels like, to one of the backs for UNLV as Glover goes down for a 2-yard loss.
And that's a great job by this defense. First half, some explosive plays led up. Start the second half. Stop the run game when it comes to this UNLV offense. Get them behind the chains and get off the field on third downs.
That was Miller in on the tackle, who had the deflection earlier. Calandrio flips it to the outside. It's Glover that's got a blocker in front of him, but he is quickly ushered out of bounds by Avinger. And now it's 3rd and long just like that.
Noah Avinger, the hype is real. Made a couple plays on the ball in the first half. You see him here sticking his nose in on the bubble, making a play. I've been impressed.
That is a physical play from a corner against a running back with a head full of steam.
A lot of corners wouldn't stick their head in there, try to make that play. Physical, big body, no Avinger, no problem.
3rd and 7. You think Utah State drops? They do. They only rush 4. Calandria trying to create something out of nothing. Fires a dart on the sideline. Escaping the danger. An 11-yard gain to Irvin for another first down.
Big time play here by Anthony Calandria. Keeping this offense on the field. You see the athleticism on full display. Does a good job keeping his eyes down the field. Finding D'Angelo Irvin late. A big first down for this offense to keep the chains moving and giving them a chance here to start this second half.
We've talked about it. Calandria very comfortable rolling to his left and throwing. Calandria looking down the field, avoids the rush. Eyes still downfield on corks one. Has to throw one catch. Oh, falling to the turf. UNLV It's an early jackpot. O'Meara with the long reception. They are now in the red zone.
You're seeing Anthony Calandria's full skill set on display here. Unbelievable job again. Free rusher off the edge. Don't care. Make a move. Keep your eyes downfield. What a catch by Troy O'Meara, helping your quarterback out there, getting inside the red zone.
Officially 50 yards on the snag. Glover empties the backfield. Calandria, designed run for him. Blockers on the outside, knocks upfield, tries to keep his balance, but a flag comes in. This could be against UNLV and back them up. Saw a hole open up late there.
Looked like a hole outside. Let's see what the call is.
Saw one of the side judges, former NFL first-round draft pick Antoine Cason.
Holding. Offense. Number 6. 10-yard penalty. First down.
So the hold is against Jaden Bradley. And that'll move UNLV back 10 yards.
Tough part about playing receiver sometimes on those blocks, and Jordan, you would know this better than me, but hand placement is critical.
And Antoine Cason, he was a former DB. I wonder if he threw that flag against a receiver for the hold right there. We talked to him before the game. He said, I don't play favorites. In fact, if anything, I let the guys play a little bit more physical. Calandria dumps it off to the outside. It's Irvin with another catch. But we talked to Cason, and he said, I didn't want to get into coaching because I wanted to spend some time with my family after playing in the league for so long. And a friend of mine was an official and had a conversation, learned that I could work my way up the ranks and still have other endeavors as well, too. And he said his goals get to the NFL, and he's just a couple years away, he feels like.
Pretty cool. You don't see many players go right into officiating, let alone ones that were first-round draft picks. So I think we need some more of it.
He also beat me when I was at Oregon, so him and Bronco Mendenhall have a lot in common here. 2nd and 16 for UNLV. Calandria looking for the end zone. Oh, that could have been disastrous for UNLV. Ike Larson almost had the interception, and now it makes it 3rd and 16.
The thing that's tough sometimes when you got these RPOs, Calandria holds onto the ball a little bit too long right there. Larson tracks his eyes, tracks the ball across the field, does everything except make the play. That would have been a massive momentum switch for this defense getting off the field in the red zone.
Is this another end zone shot or just pick up some yardage to make the field goal easier as they dump it outside to Glover? That'll answer the question. Glover makes a man miss, spinning forward. That ball's just inside the 10-yard line. That'll be 4th and goal from here. What's the thought process?
Well, they could kick a field goal. It looks like they're going to go for it here. I don't hate the call. They're down 6. If they don't get this, Utah State's going to have the ball on the 10-yard line. They're going to have to go 9.
Correction, 4th and 6 here coming up. UNLV 1 of 2 on 4th down conversions today. Glover's the back. Calandria back to pass. Calandria looking back in the end zone. Incomplete, out of bounds. Would have been a remarkable conversion. It was Reynolds drifted out of bounds. And Dan Mullen can't believe it, but a flag does come out. It was Avenger, and you see right now a lot of players for UNLV looking up at the review board here in the arena.
Calandria thinks they got a touchdown. I wonder if he went out of bounds.
And that's what people are wondering. The hat is off the official. The back judge threw his cap.
Ruling on the field is that the receiver stepped out of bounds and was the first to touch the pass. Therefore, it is illegal touching. That penalty is a loss of down at the previous spot. Therefore, it will be a turnover on downs. First down, Utah State.
Wow, what a swing. So UNLV almost tied the game. Here's one more look.
Blitz 0 by this defense. Calandria is buying some time in the pocket. You got crossing routes by both receivers. I'm not sure.
When I look at that, that looks clean. We are going to take a look at that. Is it a touchdown? We'll let you know when we come back from Vegas.
After review, the receiver got his left foot down inbounds before stepping out. Therefore, it is a touchdown for UNLV.
100% the right call as Day Reynolds picks up his 4th touchdown of the year.
Unbelievable catch. Gets the right foot down before the left one comes out of bounds. Day Reynolds, the senior, 6'2", 210 pounds, came to UNLV with Dan Mullen. He was with them a couple years ago in Florida. That's a big play for this offense at this point in the game.
It was originally ruled incomplete, and a flag was thrown. The back judge threw his hat, saying the receiver stepped out of bounds before making the catch. Not even close. UNLV has tied it and a chance to take the lead with this extra point. And the Rebels take a 1-point lead. 8 plays, 75 yards, just over 4 minutes. We've got ourselves a terrific ball game brewing here. Take one more look at this play on 4th down as well.
The reason this play works, it's an all-out blitz by this defense. Calandria buys enough time. He knows he's got crossers coming into his vision. Puts a nice up-top catchable ball on his guy. Strike up the band. That's a massive play in this game and a massive play for this offense.
That's an incredibly difficult pass to make on a rope and not too high, but yet high enough for your receiver to go up and make a catch in the back of the end zone.
The other thing, Calandria sees the blitz, knows he's probably going to get hit. He's got one less guy protecting. Sometimes when you get hit on those are the best ones. You wake up the next morning, little sore, don't care. Touchdown lead for this Rebel offense. Much needed drive right there.
Now it's up to Utah State to answer. And how about this? The 2 top scoring offenses in the Mountain West, separated by 1 point on the scoreboard and 2 yards in total yardage.
Jordan, how many times have you watched a football game and when an extra point gets missed or blocked, how many times does that end up coming to bite that team come 4th quarter here when it matters?
And Utah State arguably 7 points left off the board because of miscues. 2 missed field goals. As we take a look tomorrow at 6:30 Eastern, the Montreal Alouettes take on the Saskatchewan Roughriders in Canadian football's biggest game of the year. Don't miss the Grey Cup right here on CBS Sports Network. We mentioned the missed extra point for Utah State, the missed field goal, and then the botched fake on a field goal attempt. 7 potential points the Aggies have left behind, but now they have the ball. Davis is the back. Barnes at quarterback has been orchestrating a solid performance as well too. 4:32 left here in this 3rd quarter. Barnes, this time perfectly read by UNLV. Loss of 1. Powdrill drilled him.
This defense is sick and tired of seeing this play. He's going to come off the outside right here. It's the same quarterback power that we've been seeing the entire game with the pop pass by the tight end that time. Powdrill on the blitz, makes a play in the backfield. Bryson Barnes nowhere to go with the ball.
And is the response of Powdrill just attack the quarterback no matter what he does? Don't guess.
100%.
Makes it 2nd and 11. Barnes fakes the handoff, dumps it off. It's Davis. Davis upended. And who else making the hit? It's Powdrill once again. It's a 7-yard gain, though. 3rd and manageable coming up.
Those are the tackles. Man, that looks like it hurts. Going low. Great tackle right there on Miles Davis. A big back in the open field. And here comes another 3rd down for this defense. It's their calling card. Let's see what they do. Looks like we're getting a total line shift here on the D-line, bringing in some fresh bodies for a big down.
And they're trying to get the call in from the sideline right now. Communication key for this UNLV defense. Barnes takes the snap, throws it. Ball is caught right at the 1st down marker. As it stands, a 5-yard gain. This is going to be a critical spot. Boyd with the catch, Cope on the hit, and they're going to move the chains and mark it a 1st down.
Offensive coordinator Kevin McGibbon told us earlier this week about Barnes. We want to make things black and white for him, get the ball out of his hands, make it decisive.
Barnes again to Boyd, broken up. Well played in the secondary. Mars Brown.
Good ball by Barnes there. Better play by Brown. All-purpose guy in the secondary for them. 4 interceptions on the year. He's their fall hawk. Great play.
Davis and Jacobs, 2 backs in the game right now. Jacobs motions into the backfield. They give it to Davis. Davis slicing forward. This ball comes out. It's still around. UNLV possibly scooped it up. We'll see. Was Davis ruled down before that ball came out? It stands as an 8-yard gain right now. I don't think Davis was down at all when that ball came out.
This is a big momentum swing here. If this UNLV defense is able to generate a turnover, get the ball back for their offense after a touchdown drive.
The offense beyond the line to gain. First down, Utah State.
So he hit the ground, ball pops out. Ground can't cause a fumble. He was down.
Good job by McDuffie there, though, as he's going to the ground, trying to rip, trying to punch the ball, trying to get it out. But as you said, ground can't cause a fumble. They catch a breakdown on offense.
1st and 10 for the Aggies on their own 45. Correction, ruled 3rd and short here. Timeout.
Timeout. Utah State. Their second
so
and a
3rd
half.
and short
30
coming up
seconds.
here for the Aggies. Big time play in this close game.
College football on CBS Sports Network is sponsored by Harbor Freight. Whatever you do, do it for less at Harbor Freight. By Carl's Jr., the only place to get the Western Bacon Cheeseburger. But have you tangoed with the spicy Western Bacon? And by Reese's Peanut Butter Cups.
It's the Hall of Excellence located within the Fontainebleau, open to the public on June 20th. Created by Tom Brady and Jim Gray, self-guided tours of memorabilia from the sports and entertainment world, narrated by the likes of Morgan Freeman and our own Jim Nance. UNLV basketball will have an exhibit soon for the 1990 Title X game. It's a huge 3rd down call here, and Garcia getting ready to take the snap. 3rd and 1 for the Aggies. Barnes motions down. Now it's Garcia under center. He motions out. And a timeout called by Utah State.
Utah State cannot call a timeout in the same dead ball period. Please reset the play clock to 25.
So Utah State wanted to call another timeout. They can't. They reset the game clock, and they were trying to go with a whole bunch of shifts right there to keep UNLV guessing.
That's probably better they couldn't call that timeout right there. They're going to need these as this game gets close into the 4th quarter. But certainly an interesting play call there with some trickery, and it looks like we're getting it here again.
And Mullen's furious. He thought there should be a delay of game or something. And now Utah State looks all out of whack. 15 seconds left on the play clock. Barnes goes under center. Then you have a late substitution coming in for UNLV. The band is on the field. Pets' heads are falling off, and we have an incompletion across the middle. And of course, there is a flag on the field. I would imagine too many people on the field for UNLV, and Dan Mullen is irate right now.
He is not happy on that sideline. I don't blame him.
Illegal substitution. Defense. More than 11 players on the field. 5-yard penalty results in a 1st down.
You try and break this down here, Ben.
I got nothing for you.
Well, it's a very late substitution coming in from the UNLV sideline, because you see the extra tight end come into the game for Utah State. And the result is a 1st down for the Aggies. So bizarre sequence there. Davis is the back. Pagan motions in. Barnes looking off. He is absolutely destroyed. Ball comes out. It's Borders. Loss of 8 as Borders constrains him.
These are the ones that keep you up at night at quarterback, your blind side. That's why there's so much emphasis on a left tackle. College, NFL, Borders beats him around the edge, makes a play in the backfield. Utah State's lucky to get back on top of that one.
And that was Trey Anderson who we beat. We highlighted Anderson earlier in this game, looked to be in a little bit of discomfort, can't pick up the block, and now it's 2nd and 18. Barnes flares it to the outside, and Boyd can't handle it. And all of a sudden, it is 3rd and very long, and I'm sure somebody on the UNLV sideline saying, ball don't lie.
That's exactly right. Ball don't lie. Never has, never will. That little swing pass right there to Brady Boyd is essentially an extension of the run game. Get the ball on the outside. You don't like your numbers in the box, let's spit it outside. Boyd wasn't able to make the catch on that one.
UNLV, are you thinking pressure or just play it smart, drop 8 and play it at the sticks?
3rd and 18, drop, play zone, make Barnes beat you.
Jacobs in motion. Barnes wants to look down the field, has to escape, reestablishes himself, lofts it out of bounds. Question was, did he get back behind the line of scrimmage? You saw him backpedal a little bit. Either way, incomplete, and Utah State forced a punt.
Utah State, before this 3rd down, 7 of 11 today. And this Rebel defense came in allowing 27% conversions on 3rd down. Good stop here by this defense on 3rd and long. Flushed Barnes out of the pocket and forced him to try to make a play late with his legs.
Barnes furious as they now continue to trail by 1. Irvin back to receive the punt. Here's Rico. Irvin will give this one a chance. Quickly met by a couple of gunners right at the 11-yard line, and a lot of extra activity right there. Utah State, hold on. They think this ball maybe came out. Nothing clear right now from any body language with players as they pull bodies off the pile. And we've got a player down right now on the field. Let's take one more look.
Brevin Hamlin looks like he gets pushed a little bit there into the returner. Hopefully he's all right. Big part of this defense.
Yeah, Hamlin caught a knee to the helmet as he was going down, unfortunately. So we'll step aside as they tend to the Mountain West Conference Defensive Player of the Week from last week.
Some football trivia? Just ask Siri. Which coach has the most college football championships?
And a good sign for Utah State as Hamlin is helped to the sideline. He has a game-high 10 tackles in this contest. We mentioned his performance last week, earned him Defensive Player of the Week honors in the Mountain West Conference. And now Utah State trailing by 1. UNLV season-high 6 sacks tonight. That helped force this last punt. And now a chance for the Rebels to put together back-to-back scoring drives to extend the lead here. Offensively, the Rebels looking to try and do for another nice long drive.
Big drive here for this Rebels offense. Lean on the run game. Keep letting Anthony Calandria do what he does out of the pocket, make plays, and putting this offense in a good position to succeed.
Calandria, 213 yards through the air, has rushed for 17 yards and a touchdown. It's Lee. Hard hit as 3 Aggies converge on him. Just a 3-yard gain. Larson, first one there.
Nice job there by number 18, Ike Larson. He's in a too-high shell, recognizes the run, gets downhill and makes a play to limit that to a 2-yard gain.
Keep in mind, Utah State winless on the road this year. They led at halftime. They're undefeated when they lead at half this year. Calandria going to his left. He's comfortable, as we say. Easy pitch and catch for the first down. It's Bradley once again. Easy 20-yard completion.
Anthony Calandria is doing an unbelievable job throwing good, accurate, catchable balls rolling to the left. Most of the times, if you ask a righty quarterback what way they would rather roll, they're going to tell you right to their dominant side because everything's kind of going at the receiver. Calandria making it look easy going to the left.
11th target for Bradley this evening. Calandria this time going to his right, changes direction, gets a couple of blocks from his offensive line, scampering, takes a hard hit near the 50-yard line. They're going to mark him down right near the first down marker. Initially ruled a 9-yard gain.
I feel like we're watching me and you play Madden out here. We're getting scramble drill. We're getting QB run. We're getting too many guys on the field. Calandria is impressive.
And we're getting a one-score game going into the fourth quarter. UNLV leads 17-16. The lights, they're on in Vegas, and the Rebels trying to take this one home. Fourth quarter coming your way. You're watching college football on CBS Sports Network, presented by Geico. In Vegas, UNLV leads 17-16 over Utah State. The Rebels with the ball, and it's time now for the Geico play of the game. And how about Calandria back of the end zone to Reynolds?
When you've got a quarterback like Anthony Calandria that can move around, get this team fired up and make plays like this, you are always going to have a chance. UNLV is in this game, taking the lead into the fourth quarter. That was an unbelievable third quarter by Anthony Calandria.
Came to UNLV with tons of experience, had 17 starts at Virginia. It's now 2nd and 1, ball on their own 46 for UNLV. Oh, Calandria gets out of there. They go straight to the back. Spinning forward is Lee. And he might have gotten it with the extra effort. We've seen a lot of direct snaps to running backs and backup quarterbacks in this game here so far.
Didn't have that on my bingo card coming in. That's why they tell you as a coach to your running backs, keep your feet moving. 2nd and short, keep the feet moving, fall forward for a couple and move the chains.
First down for UNLV. Calandria in that third quarter, 8 of 10 for 112 yards and a touchdown. Chris Joe, you saw him sneaking down towards the line of scrimmage. It's a give and a big catch right here. It's Caden McGee, and unbelievable. 13 yards. Had to work for it.
Let's take a listen to this. Good tackle by D'Angelo Mays. Fortunately, comes right side up there.
Lands on tails, thank goodness. So now, 1st and 10, McGee, we've seen him thrown in a couple of times with those direct handoffs, scooting for another first down. Calandria hangs on to it, has time, protection, holding up, a late throw across the middle. Oh, they go to the tight end. And now it's UNLV with all sorts of wrinkles as Matt Burns with his first catch of the game. It's a 23-yard completion.
Here's the reason this works. Look at left guard Malik McGowan. This is gonna look like power pass. He sets up outside of the pocket. His job is first thing through, protect the quarterback. Gives Calandria a launch point to find his big tight end.
McGowan keeping everybody out of the club here in Vegas. So now 1st and 10 in the red zone for UNLV. Calandria rolling to the right, long throw. Catch is made. Wrapped up is Bradley. That was Mays hanging on for dear life. It's a 6-yard completion.
This UNLV offense is in a rhythm. Anthony Calandria is taking completions, being smart with the ball. Third quarter and into this fourth quarter, they've done a really good job putting drives together. Now, I said it in the first half, I'll say it again here. When you get down in the red zone as a quarterback, touchdown to check down. Don't try to do too much. Don't force the ball. You've already got points here.
They play the drive. Calandria to the outside. They go with the screen. Quickly snuffed out. Coming right downhill. It's Avinger. Who else?
How many times have we said Noah Avinger's name today? Making plays on the ball, making plays on the outside in the pass game. Says a lot of your corner to stick his head in there and make these plays. That's got to fire this defense up.
It's a loss of 1, so now it's 3rd and 5 from the 11. Is this potential 4-down territory for UNLV, or is a field goal going to be enough to at least make it for Utah State to have to score a touchdown? 3rd and 5. Calandria, play breaks down, can't shoot out of it, and another loss. Utah State keeps them out of the end zone. Chris Joe all over it.
Heck of a play there by Chris Joe. He's seen enough of Anthony Calandria scrambling around in the second half, making guys miss. Does a good job not letting the jukes kind of throw him off his point there. Sticking his cleats in the ground and saying, no sir, Anthony Calandria, let's bring the field goal unit out.
31-yard attempt for Viella to make it a 4-point lead. Straight through the pipes, and UNLV leads 20-16. Just under 11 minutes left. The Rebels, they trailed at half, trying to protect this lead.
College football on CBS Sports Network is sponsored by Acura. Precision crafted performance. By Verizon. And delivered by Little Caesars.
Just an amazing game so far here in Las Vegas. UNLV 20-16 lead. You look at the summary here. The UNLV offense really coming to life here in the second half. 364 total yards, but the defense has been the difference. 6 sacks from the Rebels. Utah State, they've struggled with picking up pressure all season long, and the defense has really ratcheted it up a notch here in the second half.
This UNLV defense has wreaked havoc. The front 7, Jake Pope a sack and a half, and that's been the storyline kind of all season for this Aggies offense. Bryce Barnes sacked 27 times in 9 games.
White will call for the fair catch, and we mentioned it. Lots of sacks, and here's how the Rebels have been getting home.
Great job by the defense. Jake Pope meeting them in the backfield there. Down on the goal line. Power drill, we saw that a couple of drives ago in the second half. And then the last one there, Chief Borders flying around the edge, taking Bryson Barnes blindside. 6 sacks tonight by this defense, a season high. And they've got 6 different guys with at least half a sack. That's getting production at every level of your defense.
Keep in mind, in the first half, UNLV felt like they were guessing a lot on defense. Just Utah State was gashing them, and now the Aggies decide to go to the ground, and they pick up 6 yards on first down. Joseph in on the hit, and not before Davis picks up a chunk.
Miles Davis, hometown kid, grew up here in Vegas. First time playing back here. He said he wanted about 25 to 50 tickets for this game today. I'm curious how many he got, but they're going to have to lean on him here deep into this fourth quarter to sustain some drives.
Davis just under 40 yards on the ground so far today, but picks up a chunk here, but a flag comes in as he lowers the shoulder on Joseph near the sideline, but most likely coming back.
Holding, offense, number 62, 10-yard penalty, second down.
That's Junior Sia called for the holding.
Yeah, hands outside there on Spellman. Refs are going to get that one every time.
So that'll back up Utah State, makes it 2nd and 14. And Sia, keep an eye on that lower body, took a shot there. So a couple of linemen roughed up for Utah State. We mentioned the 6 sacks for UNLV. Here's Barnes rolling out to his left, fires it late, catch made by Garcia. And Barnes took a shot at the end of that one.
Took a shot, but found a completion. Found his guy, Anthony Garcia. We've seen him a little bit at Wildcat. We've seen him a little bit through the air. But good job by Barnes, moving the pocket there and getting the completion, making this at least a 3rd and manageable here, 3rd and 8.
3rd and 8, Utah State with 1 timeout. We're under 10 minutes left to play. UNLV with the 4-point lead. Looks to be some potential pressure from the Rebels. They bring 6. Barnes trying to get out of it, runs away from it, throws it over the head of Garcia. Credit to Barnes to extend the play. but couldn't get the completion. It was Powdrell that was chasing him.
This UNLV defense has been heating up this Aggies offense on third down. Another really good job there, making Bryson Barnes flush out of the pocket. Not a sack, but a pressure and a get off the field for this Rebel defense.
So Powdrell chasing down Garcia, forces the incompletion. Irvin back to receive for UNLV. Here's Rico with another punt. High hang time. Irvin will let that thing bounce. It'll take an Aggie roll. And will settle down at about the 27-yard line. So after the 46-yard punt, UNLV has a chance to extend the lead. Presented by Geico. 20-16 UNLV with the lead, and they have the ball. Well, CBS Sports Network's coverage of college football continues next with more Mountain West mayhem. Don't miss a West Coast showdown between Boise State and San Diego State. Certainly want to watch the two top teams in the Mountain West go head-to-head as you look at their overall records. The difference in this one, the Aztec defense holding opponents to just 13 points a game, while the Broncos putting up 32 points a game themselves. So this, you feel, is the most important drive of the game for UNLV as they hang on to a 4-point lead.
Can't emphasize how important it is here. Points. Field goal makes it 7. Touchdown makes it 2 possession.
First downs and also chew up clock, and that does not go the way that UNLV wants to. William Holmes immediately deleting that play.
William Holmes says, I don't want this offense to make this a 2-possession game. I'm going to take matters into my own hands. Not today, Jalen Glover. Heck of a play right there by William Holmes, getting this offense behind the chains here early.
2nd and 12 now, just under 9 minutes left. Calandria, he's brought down. So how about the front 7 for Utah State? John Miller in on the action. That's a 6-yard loss.
We just talked about how important it was for this UNLV offense. It's equally as important for this Utah State defense to get off the field right here, get the ball back to your quarterback, Bryson Barnes, with some time on the clock. Give him a chance to go win this game. Unbelievable play by the defense there. 3rd and 18 coming up.
With that being said, what does the Aggie defense need to do here to make sure Calandria doesn't create some magic?
Pin your ears back, play a zone. You can rush 3, put a spy on him, make sure he does not beat you with his legs.
And this was a late substitution for Utah State and a timeout called by UNLV.
Prior
also
to the delay of game, UNLV called a timeout. 30 seconds.
So UNLV wasn't quite ready. You had a Utah State defenseman trying to get off the field real quickly, and UNLV has to burn a timeout. So let's go ahead and check out the standings for the Mountain West Conference, because this game very important for both UNLV and Utah State to stay within striking distance of the top couple of teams. Keep in mind, San Diego State, Boise State, they both play right after this game on CBS Sports Network. UNLV trying to play in the conference championship game for the 3rd time in the last 4 years. We mentioned Utah State also. This 15-year run for them, they're looking to try and get into a bowl game for the 12th time in the last 15 years. Prior to that, they had just 6 bowl appearances in 119 years of football. So here we go, 3rd and 18, and now you see more of a conservative look here from this Utah State defense. Aggies rush 3, drop 8. Calandria trying to extend the play, throws it late across the field. The catch is made, but it's going to be Glover. Pulled down short of the first down marker, 14 yards, but then a flag comes out near the spot where Calandria launched it. Might have been across the line of scrimmage when he unloaded that one.
Looks like he was just by a yard.
Illegal forward pass. Offense number 0. That penalty's 5 yards from the spot of the foul and a loss of down. 4th down.
So now it backs up UNLV even further on this punt. And how about Utah State? You pointed out this was the most important drive of the game for the UNLV offense. You could have chewed up some clock, scored a touchdown, made it a 2-possession game, and put this thing away. Now it's 4th and 23. The penalty erases the yardage gained on the throw, and you've got your heels in the paint right now as you're getting set to try and flip the field.
Utah State pinned their ears back, said we got to get our ball back to our guy Bryson Barnes, give him a chance to finish this game in the 4th quarter.
Kahanu Davis set to receive. No hang time here. He might get a chance. Davis going to the outside, makes a couple defenders miss, but quickly brought down. That is excellent coverage and a terrific punt from UNLV from where they were at. 47 yards. Elksnis with the tackle. Utah State with the ball and a chance to take the lead. Time to revisit our keys to the game, brought to you by Carl's Jr.
Utah State get off to a fast start. They did that. Touchdown on 2 of their first 3 drives. They've done a great job limiting UNLV to explosive plays. Only 2 of them more than 20 yards. For UNLV, use tempo to their advantage. They've done it. They're one of the top 10 teams in the country at running plays per game and then protect the football. Calandri's done a great job in the second half. He had the interception early, but protect the football here late.
Utah State has lost the last 2 games to UNLV. In those games, they had 10 turnovers. UNLV had 0. Tonight, Utah State with 0 turnovers. UNLV with the 1 turnover. Utah State has 1 timeout remaining. There's 7:43 left in this ball game. This will be fascinating as far as whether or not they decide to go for it. Another direct snap, this time to Garcia. We've seen this formation a couple of times here, but you go back to the timeout called by UNLV, though, in Mullen on 3rd and 18. You don't like that call?
I don't love the call. 3rd and 18, if you take the delay of game, 3rd and 23. The odds of you getting 3rd and 18 are so slim anyway. Dan Mullen is going to need that 3rd timeout. We saw it last week. Kurt Cignetti for Indiana, virtually the exact same scenario. Took the delay of game, saved the 3 timeouts, needed all 3 late on that last drive against Penn State to win the ball game.
2nd and 6. Davis is the back. Barnes back in at quarterback. Barnes slings it just outside the strike zone. Was looking for Boyd. And now a very quick 3rd and 6 for Utah State.
This defense has not slowed down the pressure. You're going to see the nickel, Mumu Bin Wahad off the edge. Takes a hit on Bryson Barnes there. Goes a little bit low. Might have forced a little bit of an inaccurate pass right there.
3rd and 6. Utah State trails by 4. UNLV showing a little pressure. You saw 2 encroach on the hard count. They bring the house. Barnes keeps it, avoids the tackle. Oh, look at him gallop. He's chewing up yards. Barnes into the end zone. Utah State takes the lead. A 58-yard run to glory.
What a play call. 3rd and 6. Put the ball in your best player's hands. You're getting an all-out blitz here from this UNLV defense. All 3 linebackers come. There's nobody in the middle of the field. They're worried about their receivers. Bryce Barnes creases them. That is a huge play at this point in the game to give Utah State the lead here late.
The Aggies hit when they need to here in Vegas. And the extra point is good. They have a 3-point lead. Bryson Barnes, faster than you can believe. 58 yards to the house, and Utah State has taken the lead with less than 7 minutes left to play. Utah State 23-20 advantage over UNLV. Bryson Barnes just dashed for 58 yards. He now ties the single season school record for rushing touchdowns by a quarterback at Utah State with Chucky Keaton, who did it in 2012, and just became the 4th Utah State QB in school history to go for 1,000 career rush yards. And Ben, That was after he took a brutal hit on second down.
The toughness from Bryson Barnes that he has showed today from first half to second half. He's been hit, he's been sacked, he's been under pressure all day. Doesn't matter. When the moment calls for a big play, he calls his own number and takes to the house.
It is remarkable how this game is flipped. UNLV had the ball and a 4-point lead, and now they're going to go with an honest return. This opens up just a little bit, but upended. And this ball might have came out. Utah State, they think they got it. Oh, it's a crumble. Unbelievable. The kickoff return fumble, and Utah State immediately takes the ball back. And we have got an Aggie down on the field goal. The question was he down? The officials are having a conversation about this. And typically when you see a player upended like that, let's see, this is a huge potential swing in this game. Whether or not. Here's the hit. And Glover
Ruling
is
on the
down.
field is a fumble recovered by Utah State. First down.
So that's the ruling on the field. They'll obviously take another look at this, and I think from
Previous
our
plays
vantage
under
point,
further review.
this should be UNLV ball.
We saw that a little bit earlier. The ground can't cause a fumble. Body part can't cause a fumble when it hits the ground first. This one looks like it's going to go back to UNLV, but man, that was almost a massive momentum swing there. That would have made up for the special teams miscues in the first half by this Utah State team. But regardless, 3-and-out last drive by this defense. They're going to be backed up here again with the lead. Let's see what they can do.
They have the cart out right now for the Utah State player that is down on the field. And that is Titan Saxton. So the most important thing at this moment is the health and well-being of Saxton. As you see players on both sides take a knee.
19. After review, the runner's left forearm was down before the ball came loose. It'll be first down, UNLV at the 19-yard line.
So UNLV ball at the 19-yard line as they continue to tend to Saxton. Saxton was moving his lower body as they were tending to him. But obviously anytime you see the cart come out and you've been in these situations before, it immediately changes your perspective as a player as far as the severity of the situation.
You never want to see that, regardless of who it is, when it happens, how it happens. Tough scene. Hopefully he's okay.
We'll be back in 30 seconds. Welcome back to Las Vegas. Utah State with the 23-20 lead over UNLV. Right now you see the medical crew tending to Titan Saxton, the sophomore safety for Utah State, who's still down on the turf. You see the cart out on the field. They're working to get him immobilized at this moment. Made the initial tackle on the kickoff return from Glover. Got back up on his feet as you see the hit coming in. Looking at number 23, and you see just a lot of contact between the lower body of Glover into the head and neck area of Saxton. Saxton would stand up after that, then lose his balance as he went to the ground, and immediately the medical teams rushed out to him. See players on both sides taking a knee, and that's the interesting thing about this sport here, Ben. You step onto that field and there's such competitiveness and aggression towards the other team and the spirit of the game, but then the humanness and the fragility and the vulnerability of the sport pops out in moments like these, and you understand what the priorities are.
It's a physical game. Sometimes we lose sight of that watching on Saturdays, watching on Sundays, but it's so much bigger than football. You can see both teams here heavily invested in the health and well-being. and just obviously hope for the best. You never want to see that.
You see Ike Larson, and now the Utah State team is all walking over to Saxton. Coach Bronco Mendenhall talked about the makeup of this team. 69 new players this year, the second most transfers in college football, second only to New Mexico, the program he was at before. He mentioned there are no issues with this team. He loves the way that everybody gets along. We've got great kids up and down this roster, and it's a joy to coach these players. As
you can see it here. Look at the way these guys are checking on their guy, making sure their teammate's all right. And in today's day and age, transfer portal and NIL, the fact that these teams turn over so much year to year, to see chemistry, to see this team so heavily invested in one of their guys, and here comes the UNLV players as well. Sportsmanship. Hopefully everything is okay.
That's the one thing. It's been much more of a revolving door in college football over the last 5-6 years, certainly. But at the end of the day, whether it was pre or post transfer portal, for so many of these players, the relationships and friendships they make are things that'll last a lifetime. And see some applause coming from some of the players as they see some movement from Saxton as they are putting him on the cart right now, keeping him immobilized. As the entire team comes over now. See Saxton raising his hand right there.
There we go.
In these situations, obviously, as a player, Utah State more than ever before wants to go and make sure they can get this game taken care of for Saxton. So Saxton will be helped off the field. And now comes the difficult part. And this is something you have to acknowledge. You see something like this, the momentum of the game stops on such a serious note. But now you have to dial it up here with less than 7 minutes left to play, and a must-win game for both teams that are one game out of first place in the Mountain West Conference. For Utah State, you're looking for your first road win. For UNLV, you have the ball now on your own 19-yard line. And yet another potential one-score game for them, something they found themselves in all year round.
This Utah State team, one win away from bowl eligibility as well, and the schedule does not get any easier for them to close after today. They've got Fresno and they've got Boise to finish. So a win here today would do wonders for the rest of their season.
And usually the conversations on the sideline at this point is you're seeing your teammate carted off. You just see the wonderful display of sportsmanship right there from UNLV towards Utah State. There's so much mutual respect, and both teams will tell you the way they continue to respect this game after this moment is to continue to dial it up to 100%.
And the tough part now for both teams is a little bit of a delay. You just saw a guy go down, which you never want to see, but now all of a sudden they've got to, lock back in, and Utah State on defense, UNLV on offense. They got to keep the task at hand, the main thing, and try to go finish this game.
Wish you the best of health here, Saxton. We're all pulling for you. If we get any update, we'll keep you posted. But for now, we return to action. Always that difficult pivot after something like that. UNLV has the ball. It was ruled a fumble initially. Reversed because the ground caused the fumble. And now the challenge for UNLV. They saw a lot of pressure from that front seven from Utah State last series that led to a quick 3 and outs. Colandrea's reverses out to his left once again. Here comes even more pressure. Colandrea still running. Throws it late, lollipops it towards the sideline. But I tell you what, Miller and Holmes, this linebacking core, has put tremendous pressure on UNLV.
I understand so much of this offense is getting Colandrea on the edge. Sometimes when you got this athletic ability, you try to do too much. You've got an open guy here on 1st and 10. Take the completion, move on. You're not guaranteed anything past that.
2nd and 10. The handoff to Lee. Knifes his way forward. 6-yard gain. That'll make it third manageable here.
Big third down here. I don't think you're even considering fourth down yet. You've still got 2 timeouts if you're UNLV, but we hit it. That third one might come into play here, looming as this drive continues, but 5 of 12 on the day. They're going to have to be 6 of 13 after this one to keep this drive moving.
It's an empty backfield. You want to give a two-way option for Calandria here. Calandria, deep drop back. They pick up the pressure. The strike is caught. Big time conversion. So Mire with the 14-yard completion and a fresh set of downs for UNLV.
Exact same formation, exact same look, exact same blitz from this Utah State defense. They're bringing everybody, popping the ends. Calandria knows he's got to sit back there, hold on to the ball for a second. They're running all slants. He finds his guy on Mire for a big conversion.
They go to the ground. It's Lee. You got to give some credit to the center, Reed Williams, on that last play for directing things and picking up that blitz. 5-yard gain. And now for UNLV, if you can chew some clock on this drive and get within striking distance, you can either win the game or tie it on this drive.
No need to press yet, Anthony Calandria. You're on the 44-yard line here, 2nd and medium. You got timeouts, you got clock to work with. Play your game.
2nd and 5, Irvin in motion. Calandria immediately rolls out, dumps it off. It's Lee. Not much going there. No gain as Joe delivers the hit.
Joe's been all over the field in the second half for this Aggies defense. Maybe going to the well one too many times there on offense. We've seen that play a couple times now today. Good recognition by Joe coming up out of the second level and making a play.
Here we go. Huge 3rd and 5. Less than 4.5 minutes left. UNLV trailing by 3. Calandria fakes the reverse, tries to find a hole. Oh, he scampers forward, picks up the first down. There's going to be more to it. Here comes the flag at 15 for a face mask. An 11-yard pickup by Calandria, who once again dodges danger.
Personal foul, face mask, defense, number 24. 15-yard penalty and an automatic first down.
That's a tremendously huge penalty against Holmes.
I credit that to Anthony Calandria's athleticism. If a quarterback can't do this, Holmes thinks he's going to be one way, Calandria goes the other way. All of a sudden the hand gets up in the face mask. At this point in the game, that's a backbreaker for this defense.
And Ben completely changes the outlook of this drive. You're staring at 3rd and 4, 3rd and 5, and now you've got a chance here with the ball on your 29-yard line of Utah State. 2 timeouts, under 4 minutes left. McGee is in the game. Keep an eye out. They fake the handoff. Calandria sets his feet. Wants the touchdown. Throws it. A little bit of a miscommunication with Bradley. They were going for the haymaker.
Calandria, you see him there, says that one's on me. Throws it on the wrong shoulder. He's going to wish he had this one back. They're going a double move on the outside. They get Noah Flores. And Calandria throws that one a little bit too far outside. Might have been a little bit of a tug on that one. Dan Mullen hasn't been happy all game. He wasn't happy after that one either.
Crowd certainly doesn't like it, so it makes it 2nd and 10. They were going for the shot there. Still plenty of time. 2 timeouts remaining for UNLV. Play clock winding down. Calandria, long developing mesh. We have a helmet that pops off for Utah State. Calandria has to throw it out of there, and a flag comes in. And a late flag, and you see right now it's Tyree Morris that doesn't have his cap, and he feels it might be hands to the face. A lot to sort out here.
Anytime a defender's helmet ends up on the ground, more times than not, probably something the offense did to get it there.
There are 2 flags on the field.
Personal foul, defense, number 9. Continued participation without his helmet on. That penalty's half the distance to the goal line and an automatic first down.
Wow. You don't see that every day, Ben.
That is not what we were expecting right there. The helmet comes off from Morris during the play. Being physical at the line. That's a tough call.
You've seen offensive players make a catch and the helmet pops off and they're still fighting for yards. That is a very tough call, so that'll make it first down on the 15 for UNLV.
Back-to-back 15-yard penalties for this defense. At this point in the game, that can't happen.
Lee is the back. Calandria once again looking toward the corner of the end zone. Back shoulder throw is low and no good. Broken up. They continue to test the outside with Flores.
Flores again. They tried the double move on him a couple plays ago. They're going right back to him again. Looks like Calandria might have been a little bit late right there on that throw, and might have been some hands again coming back to the ball. Jaden Bradley wanted pass interference on that one.
Yeah, Bradley visibly upset. That's a long distance for a back shoulder throw also from opposite hash to that corner.
Very few guys that can make that throw. But what we've seen from Calandria today, he's got it.
2nd and 10. Lee is the back. Calandria designed runs. Got a blocker in front of him. Calandria avoids the rush. Leaps over a defender. Knocked out of bounds. Miller forced him out. It's a 5-yard gain. Makes it 3rd down. And Ben, I got to ask you. Are you thinking field goal here, or if you can get this to 4th and 1, do you try to continue to go for the win at home?
I would take the points. There's still a lot of clock, a lot of game left here. You got a couple timeouts. Force Utah State to beat you. I would take the points if they don't get it here. Tie this thing up.
3rd and 5. Calandria with Lee in the backfield. Calandria, here comes the pressure. Calandria can't get out. He is tripped up. They get to him. Utah State dials up the pressure, and he's dropped for a 5-yard loss. Iniguez Jr. along with Miller closed up the phone booth.
No decision for Dan Mullen after that one. That's the one thing you can't have happen right here, Calandria. You're inside the 10, 3rd and short. Might go for it on 4th, might not. Timely sack right there for this defense.
31-yard attempt for Viella. And it's good. We've got a tie ball game. 2:18 left here in Vegas. Utah State, UNLV going down to the wire. The winner stays in the race for a berth in the Mountain West Conference title game. The loser essentially out. Utah State, a win makes them bowl eligible. UNLV still fighting for back-to-back 10-win seasons. So Calandria thought they had something dialed up well here, but very frustrated on the sideline.
Yeah, you can see here, he kind of knows what was at stake. Got to get rid of that ball, try to make a play. Kind of shaking that one off. But unbelievable answer from Calandria from this UNLV offense. After a couple minutes ago, on a big 3rd down, you just watch the opposing quarterback, Bryson Barnes, rip your defense for 50. That's a heck of an answer to tie this thing up late.
I would like to argue, though, Utah State had 2 15-yard penalties on that drive that helped aid UNLV. And so for the Aggies, trying to get the win on the road, make a couple of mental mistakes at a critical drive. But you've got 1 timeout. You'll have the 2-minute timeout coming. And there's 2:18 left in this ball game. And this offense has had some time to rest as well, too. And keep in mind, Utah State left some chips on the table in this game. With all that being said, they are going to get the ball and a chance to possibly win this game on this drive. It's White, calls for the fair catch. And we mentioned it. Missed opportunities for the Aggies left and right in this game. A lot of them coming in the first half also.
That's been the story of the day. The first half for this Utah State offense. They've done a good job all day moving the ball. Just some miscues in the kicking game. An extra point, a field goal. And we saw this one late in the first half. Not sure what this was trying to be. But yet, with 2 minutes and 18 seconds left in this game, they find themselves deadlocked with their quarterback, Bryson Barnes, the best player on their team, with a chance to win this game.
So you're telling me there's a chance. 38-yard line's the target line. Here's Barnes at the 58-yard run. He's going the wrong direction now. Pursued. Powdrell and McDuffie force him backwards. He's able to dump it off before taking the sack. No flags.
Barnes has got to be careful there. It looked like a design quarterback run. He tries to throw this thing late. Luckily, he's got a receiver in the area and no linemen are downfield. So he got lucky there.
Makes it 2nd and 10. That would have been about an 8 to 10-yard loss. Barnes rolling to his right, has protection, dumps it off to the sideline. Pagan quickly jumps out of bounds after the 7-yard gain. That'll make it 3rd and short coming up. Utah State probably going to let this wind down to the 2-minute timeout. So here we go, tied up, 23 apiece. We'll take a short little break here in UNLV. It's the 2-minute timeout. Two top offenses in the Mountain West going down to the wire. Tied at 23 apiece, 2 minutes left as we now take a look at our player of the game, brought to you by Old Trapper Beef Jerky, and it's Barnes.
He's done it through the air. He's done it on the ground. Looks different, feels different. Bryson Barnes is the leader of this offense. There you see last drive, splitting the defense on 3rd and 6, calling his own number and taking it to the house. We have a massive 3rd down right here. A tied ball game late with 2 minutes left. UNLV's been bringing pressure all day on Bryson Barnes in this offense. Let's see if they decide to do it again or they decide to play coverage and make them beat you.
3rd and 3, Utah State trying to keep the drive alive. Barnes gonna keep it. Barnes sneaks ahead, uses his legs for the conversion once more. 6-yard gain and a fresh set of downs for the Aggies.
Offensive coordinator Kevin McGivern is not even going to take the chance of putting this thing in the air. And why would you, the way that Bryson Barnes has been running the ball these last couple drives? Get an extra hat in the box, great conversion.
Brock Lane with a terrific block there on McDuffie to open it up. 1st and 10. Barnes fakes the handoff. Barnes avoids the grasp of the defenders and tripped up. But a 7-yard gain, and he's just chewing up yardage right now.
Toughness, toughness. This kid is tough. He's putting it on the line for his team here. Not really in a hurry with a minute and 20 seconds, a timeout. But when you cross the 50, expect some pressure from this UNLV defense. And at some point, we're going to have to get going here. They're taking their time a little bit.
How poetic would it be for Rinker, who has missed an extra point, missed his first field goal of the season, to get a chance to win this game with a kick? It's Davis. Oh, lays the lumber, not shying from the physicality. Picks up the 1st down on a 7-yard gain.
We could hear that one from up here. Big physical back, Miles Davis, 5'11", 215 pounds. Lowers his shoulder, delivers the boom on Jake Pope.
Is UNLV thinking about using a timeout at any point here? Try and salvage some clock. 1st and 10, Barnes in the shotgun. Barnes stepping up once again. They can't catch him. Oh, he's taken off once more. And a casual slide at the 25-yard line. They mark him at the 27, but they're within field goal range with 33 seconds remaining after Barnes runs for 21.
What they needed right there was a spy on Bryson Barnes. He's killing you with his legs the second half. Barnes, unbelievable job recognizing man coverage. Nobody on me. Let me go use my legs and make a play.
Jacobs is the back, and a timeout will be called. 22 seconds remaining. UNLV calls timeout.
Prior to the snap, timeout, UNLV, their 2nd of the half, 30 seconds.
So both teams with 1 timeout remaining. Now, Ben, you're well within field goal range. UNLV has 6 sacks on the evening. Do you even risk throwing any pass right here, or are these just conservative runs to set up your kicker that is 10 for 11 on the season?
First and foremost, I think you trust your offense, trust the big guys up front, hand this ball off to Miles Davis, take all of the thinking out of it for Bryson Barnes. They're in field goal range here. It's a tie ball game, so it's not like you necessarily need the field goal. So that's why you don't put the ball in the air. But for this offense, keep this thing on the ground. You got a timeout. Let your kicker try to walk it off.
Football's a funny sport. Both these teams averaging over 35 points per game this season. We told this to the coordinators. They said, watch this be a low-scoring game. Both teams are undefeated when they hold the opposition to under 30 points this year. Something is going to give potentially. 22 seconds left. They go in the hands of Barnes. They trust it with him. He continues to drive the legs. And they whistle the play dead. Clock's at 13, 12, 11. They call a timeout eventually here, you imagine, as this thing winding down. UNLV will probably try to call one to ice the kicker, I imagine. So a timeout is called at 2 seconds left. Utah State going to try and win this with the leg of Tanner Rinker. Rinker came into tonight 10 for 10. He's missed a field goal and missed an extra point. He has connected on one field goal, and he has a chance to give Utah State the win, but here are the missed opportunities.
Field goal early in the first half, missed it wide left. We saw an extra point again in the first half, missed it same spot, wide left. This one, we're not sure if it was a miscommunication, a called fake, what it was, but regardless, it took 3 points off the board.
For those of you tuning in for the Boise State-San Diego State game, you'll be able to find it streaming free on the CBS Sports app or at cbssports.com/CBSSN as soon as it kicks off. And of course, we'll get you out there immediately after the conclusion of this game. UNLV with 1 timeout remaining. 2 seconds left on the clock, 2nd and 9. Tanner Rinker from 44 yards. He has a long of 49 on the year to win the game and make Utah State bowl eligible. Here's the kick. No good. We've got overtime in Vegas. Rinker, who was perfect coming into tonight, has now missed 2 field goals. And we've got extra football in Sin City.
Bonus ball. What better way to end your Saturday night? 2 great teams here, offense, defense. Not sure we can say special teams, but regardless, we're going to get some bonus football. Man, they say it all the time. Football is a game of inches. That one looked like it missed by about 6 inches right there. Tough break. After a great job by Bryson Barnes getting this offense in a position to win the game as the time expires.
So the 2 top offenses, scoring-wise, in the Mountain West Conference, they both push after 4 quarters. And Utah State had a chance to win it on the leg of Rinker. And Dan Mullen, how about this? Didn't ice Rinker. Almost a head game in and of itself that way. And as you say, there are some wily card sharks in this town. And if you can read your opponent, you got a chance to take home the pot. And now we are headed to overtime. So as a refresher, our overtime rules. In the first overtime, the ball is placed at the opponent's 25-yard line. Each team keeps possession until scoring or failing to make a first down. In the second overtime, we up the ante. Teams must attempt a 2-point conversion after the touchdown. The third overtime and beyond, each team attempts a 2-point conversion instead of possession. The ball is placed at the 3-yard line. And of course, teams must have equal number of possessions. These teams obviously have played in this situation before. Utah State 8-6, UNLV not quite the house advantage in bonus ball. 6-12. What's at stake? UNLV, they're already bowl eligible, but we've mentioned it's the best 3-year run in program history. They're trying to win out the regular season to make it back-to-back 10-win seasons for the first time in school history. Utah State, a win makes them bowl eligible. UNLV hasn't won a game in overtime since 2019.
Overtime rules are now in effect. First overtime, you can go for 1. Second overtime, team that scores a touchdown must go for 2. Each team will have 1 timeout per overtime period for the first and second overtime. At the third, we will have 1 play from the 3-yard line and 1 timeout for the remainder of the game. Utah State, you are the visitors. You will call the toss. Utah State won the toss and is elected to play defense. UNLV will have the ball on this end of the field. First down.
The Boise State-San Diego State game is underway and now available streaming free on the CBS Sports app or at cbssports.com/CBSSN. We'll get you out there as soon as this one is over. You like the call here from Utah State?
I do. You win the toss, put your defense out there, let them get a stop for you, and see if your offense can go win it.
How about UNLV in one-score games this year? They're 4-1. Their only loss was here at home to New Mexico in a game they'd led late before the Lobos came back and got the victory.
That's why I'd lead, giving UNLV the slight advantage here. They've been here, they've done that. This team has had some fourth quarter battles that they've had to figure their way out, come out on top. This is no different. I'm excited to watch Calandria here. His thought process, his decision making, everything needs to speed up now in overtime.
Empty backfield. Calandria looking towards the end zone. Tied up in terrific coverage as they continue to test Flores once again. Reynolds was the intended target. And how about the way that Flores has answered the call?
He's done an unbelievable job the last couple of drives. Fourth quarter, this first play of overtime. Sticking to his guy, making plays. Calandria's got nowhere to go with the ball there.
Do you like the strike to the end zone on first down there?
I do. Why not? Catch the defense off guard. Utah State might have been thinking run. Take your shot early.
Lee is the back. Packed box here. They hand it off to Lee. Lee quickly brought down. Picks up a 5-yard gain, but a terrific textbook tackle. It's Mays, and now it's third down coming up for UNLV.
We talked about Noah Avinger for a good part of this second half. How about the other corner, D'Angelo Mays, sticking his nose in there, getting dirty. He's fired up. We got a big third down here to start this first overtime.
3rd and 6, Utah State. They've been about 50-50 on pressure versus drop back in these situations.
A lot of bodies around the line of scrimmage. Let's see if they come.
Lee is at the bottom of your screen. Calandria, they rush 5. Ball is deflected. Oh, the Aggie defense. Olivau, who had the interception earlier in this game, put an end to the drive. And now a field goal coming up.
Olivau recognizes Calandria is getting ready to throw, stops in his tracks. We see the vertical, gets his hands on the ball. Might not show up in the box score, but my goodness, that's a huge play here to start overtime.
Viella 3 of 4. This one from 39 yards out. His only miss was from 59 from the left hash. No good. Misses it left, so Utah State will get a chance to potentially win this game on just a field goal yet again. And we have seen special team breakdowns on both sides of the ball here this evening.
Just when you thought this game couldn't get any crazier, to start overtime, Ramon Viella pushes it a little bit left. Utah State loves it. Their defense is fired up. Ball back to your quarterback, Bryson Barnes, to see if they can put a nail in the coffin.
So after seeing their own team miss a field goal to win it in regulation, Bronco Mendenhall sees the opposition miss their field goal in the first overtime. Now, how does this change your approach offensively when you know you just need a field goal to win this game?
I've always wondered that. I'd love to take a deep dive inside of Bronco Mendenhall's mind right now and kind of see what he's thinking. I would imagine they're going to keep this thing on the ground with Miles Davis and try to get it on the ground.
Here's the thing, though. Rinker has missed 2 field goals today already. They're going to go to the air. Barnes, the throw just outside the reach of Pagan. Because I have to wonder, how much confidence do you have in Rinker at this point? Even though the ball's at the 25-yard line, it's just been an irregular game for him.
I think you still got to trust him. He's your starting kicker for a reason. He's got you to this point. A couple mishaps can't let you deter the decision. You got a chance to win the game. Go win it.
Barnes is limping a little bit. He's taken a lot of shots this game. They go to the ground. It's Davis, quickly stood up. Doesn't get much there, maybe a yard. That'll make it 3rd and 9.
Looks like UNLV thinking the same thing on defense. They're loading the box, trying to stop the run there. One more down, get off the field on 3rd down. And we're back to the kicking game.
Most likely going to come down to a kick from Rinker. It's 3rd and 9. And how aggressive are you for Utah State here? 3rd and 9 is not easy to pick up. As we said before, your kicker has missed 2 kicks. Barnes in the shotgun. Davis is the back. The handoff to Davis. He's not going to get it. Picks up just 1 yard. So you'll have a game-winning kick once again for Rinker. Onalea with the hit. It's 4th and 8. Utah State can become bowl eligible with a win. Looking for their first victory on the road this season. 41 yards for Rinker. He missed from this distance earlier. A chance at redemption for the game potentially. Rinker! No good! No good! We have got a dealer here in Vegas. Nobody's winning right now.
My goodness.
3 missed field goals for Tanner Rinker after coming into this game 10 for 10.
By no means was this a chip shot. Good job by the holder, getting the snap down, getting the laces turned. Sound like a broken record. How many times have we seen Rinker miss a couple feet to the left today?
Started off good. It was another high snap. There have been some issues with the snap here this evening. 3 consecutive missed field goals between both these teams. And now we go to the 2nd overtime. And you have to go for 2 if you score a touchdown here. Utah State will now start with the ball. So the advantage they had after the coin toss has now been erased.
I would expect them to be aggressive now. A couple missed kicks. Let's let the offense end this thing.
Barnes looks to pass. Runs out of the pocket, eyes downfield, flares it. His receiver trying to make an adjustment. It's Pagan. Can't get it. Powdrell on the coverage, blanketed him.
Boy, this UNLV defense has ratcheted up here. First overtime and to start the 2nd overtime. Scramble drill. Powdrell does a good job not taking eyes off his guy when Barnes leaves the pocket. Locates Pagan. Does a good job not getting the flag there, locating the ball and making a play.
2nd and 10, and you see teammates going up to Rinker to try and encourage him. They might need his leg once more. Barnes back to pass. Gets knocked down. What an incredible rush on the outside. Onalea just bulldozed the pass protection. Davis had no chance. Puts him in the lap of Barnes.
That's 275 on 215. I know who's winning that matchup every single time. Onalea blows that thing up in the backfield. No chance.
Now the problem here is if there's no gain for Utah State, this is flirting with a 50-yard kick potentially. 3rd and 17. Barnes has time. Barnes running out of the pocket. Pinballed by 4 defenders. He's going to be short of the first down marker. 10-yard gain. And here comes Rinker to try and give Utah State a 3-point lead here in double overtime.
That was such a heads-up play by Bryson Barnes there. 10 yards, might not get the first down, but what it does, it makes this kick 10 yards shorter for Rinker. And another chance to end this thing.
It's a 39-yard attempt to give Utah State a 3-point lead. UNLV will get one more possession. This one is good, so Rinker puts it through. Utah State leads, and now UNLV can win the game with a touchdown or can tie it with a field goal.
Rinker, great job. Don't worry about the last kicks. You got another kick right here, but great job putting that one through.
Let's go to Brent Stover in New York for a quick update.
Jordan, Boise State and San Diego State underway and now available streaming free on the CBS Sports app or at cbssports.com/CBSSN, nearing the midpoint of the opening quarter. San Diego State ball from their own 15. 0-0 will get there when you guys are done.
Oh, we are not looking at wrapping up anytime soon here, Brent Stover. We're in double overtime. We've had a terrific game between the top scoring offenses in the Mountain West. Here's the handoff on the ground, running towards the end zone. It's McGee diving for the win. Touchdown, UNLV. The house wins. Walk-off game winner. And the Rebels survive once again.
Why do we need a third overtime? Let's end it the first play. Let's make sure he got in here. Keep an eye on that left foot. Hard to tell from this angle. Looks like the right knee stays up. The ball's already across the plane there. But we're going to have to get a look at this left foot from a different angle. Let's see if we can tell from here.
The foot stays in bounds.
Ball game. What a game. What a win for this UNLV team. Unbelievable back and forth all night. What a way to end it.
They are reviewing it. Call on the field was a touchdown. The feet were in bounds.
Hard to see anything there to reverse that. Pretty quick review. Let's see what we got.
After review, the ruling on the field is upheld. Touchdown, UNLV.
There's your ball game. UNLV survives in double overtime. And a walk-off touchdown on the very first play of their second overtime. And a hard-fought battle between both these teams. UNLV remains undefeated when holding their opponents under 30 points. The updated standings, UNLV 4-2. Utah State drops to 3-3. The Aggies still winless on the road this season, as UNLV has to go to double overtime to get the victory here over Utah State. What a ball game, partner.
Unbelievable. Can you ask for anything else? The back and forth, the missed field goals, the turnovers, the pressures, the long explosive touchdowns, and then McGee to end it for this offense. What a play.
Once again, our final scores, 29-26 in double overtime for Ben DiNucci and our entire crew. I'm Jordan Kent. This has been a presentation of CBS Sports Network, the 24-hour home of CBS Sports. Now we head out to San Diego as they take on Boise State for another key Mountain West matchup.